Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
Are traditional commands necessary in a truly intelligent world? In our smart ecosystem, cars will understand you and meet your needs with flexibility and versatility. Devices will adapt to your wants and flow as you wish. Homes are not just a home, but a space to infinite possibilities. Proactive and responsive. Operating system will anticipate and serve your every intent. This is the future that we are developing for you. A life where Xiaomi EV and over 600 million devices move as you wish, completing the human, car, home smart ecosystem. Xiaomi Hyper OS.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
我回来了。
Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
Are traditional commands necessary in a truly intelligent world? In our smart ecosystem, cars will understand you and meet your needs with flexibility and versatility. Devices will adapt to your wants and flow as you wish. Homes are not just a home, but a space to infinite possibilities. Proactive and responsive. Operating system will anticipate and serve your every intent. This is the future that we are developing for you. A life where Xiaomi EV and over 600 million devices move as you wish, completing the human, car, home smart ecosystem. Xiaomi Hyper OS.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
今天多云转阵雨，记得带伞。
回来了。
Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
Are traditional commands necessary in a truly intelligent world? In our smart ecosystem, cars will understand you and meet your needs with flexibility and versatility. Devices will adapt to your wants and flow as you wish. Homes are not just a home, but a space to infinite possibilities. Proactive and responsive. Operating system will anticipate and serve your every intent. This is the future that we are developing for you. A life where Xiaomi EV and over 600 million devices move as you wish, completing the human, car, home smart ecosystem. Xiaomi Hyper OS.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
今天多云转阵雨，记得带伞。
我回来了。
Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
Are traditional commands necessary in a truly intelligent world? In our smart ecosystem, cars will understand you and meet your needs with flexibility and versatility. Devices will adapt to your wants and flow as you wish. Homes are not just a home, but a space to infinite possibilities. Proactive and responsive. Operating system will anticipate and serve your every intent. This is the future that we are developing for you. A life where Xiaomi EV and over 600 million devices move as you wish, completing the human, car, home smart ecosystem. Xiaomi Hyper OS.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
今天多云转阵雨，记得带伞。
我回来了。
Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
Are traditional commands necessary in a truly intelligent world? In our smart ecosystem, cars will understand you and meet your needs with flexibility and versatility. Devices will adapt.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is my 5th annual speech. I've seen a lot of friends on site here, and there are many other friends joining us online. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. On the 28th March, Xiaomi SU7 was officially launched. It became a hit that was beyond our expectation. Overnight, it became a phenomenal bestseller. The past 3 months, every day it was like a dream. Thinking about the past 1,000 days and nights, Xiaomi EV experienced so many ups and downs. Perhaps many of you know that Xiaomi EV actually started by accident. It was on the 15th January 2021. At 7 a.m. on my way to work, I got a phone call from my friend. He said that, Mr. Lei, you are under sanction by the US government. At that moment, it was a huge shock. Very quickly, we held an emergency board meeting and discussed our response. And in that board meeting, a board member asked, if you cannot make smartphones, what about the 30 and 40,000 employees of Xiaomi? Indeed, if we can no longer make smartphones, what about the 30 and 40,000 employees of Xiaomi? And one board member suggested that perhaps you should consider making cars. That day, in the afternoon, it was the first time for us to have a serious discussion about car making. Basically, all the executives are in support of this, but I thought car making, the risk is too big, and we need to do a very serious and careful investigation. Therefore, we formed a team of 6 people. In 70 days, we went to 10 cities. And sometimes we went to the city in the morning and then came back in the evening. And we had 85 interviews with over 200 people. And in this process, we also had 4 executive meetings. In this process, 2 friends of mine have been suggesting me strongly that we should make cars. They are Li Bing and He Xiaopeng. Honestly speaking, when I write my script, I thought they suggest that I should make cars. What is good in this for them? Aren't they afraid of another competitors in their own industry? I've been thinking, perhaps they're just thinking for me, for the good of Xiaomi. So, as the investigation goes on, more and more, I felt that smart EV is an unstoppable trend. Therefore, on the 24th March, when we report to the board, I said, smart EV is a mega trend, and the car industry is being integrated with the consumer electronics industry. Therefore, I think Xiaomi must be involved in this. At the same time, I also raised my concern. Well, the automobile industry, just like the smartphone industry, where winner takes all, maybe in the end only 5 to 8 companies can survive in the world. If we cannot become top 5 in the world, we won't be able to survive in the car industry. Therefore, if we want to build cars, we have to be prepared for a protracted war, and we have to become the top 5 in the world. That means we need to invest a huge amount of money in it, and we believe we need at least $10 billion. After heated discussion by our board members, they gave me a positive answer. They are in support of Xiaomi EV. However, because the investment was too huge, so Lei Jun must be the lead of this project. Honestly speaking, I never expect that the board will have such a requirement. The next few days were very struggling for me. It was also an eventful time for Xiaomi. At that time, we were listed 2 years ago, and the entire company was transforming from a guerrilla force to a regular army. So it was very struggling. And the high-end strategy for our smartphone business just kicked off. So many things are happening at the same time. And at that point of time, a young executive we have cultivated for years and we have given high hope to also quit it. It was a shock for me. And that young executive is Zhou Shouzhi. But still, I gave him my best wishes, even though I don't want him to leave. So, in such an eventful time, with all things happening at the same time, it was a mess in my mind. And at that time, I need to think whether we should build cars or not, and should I take the lead in this project. It was not easy. Every night, when I finally made up my mind to do something big, then the second day in the morning when the sun rises, I become confused once again. I keep asking myself, if entrepreneurship is so difficult and so painful, do I really want to do it once again? And the risk is big. What if I fail? Will my life just end up with a failure? And do I really have enough energy to really fight my way into a brand new industry for me? All these questions are haunting me, and I thought about them for a week. It was a struggling week for me. And on the 30th March, I officially replied the board that if Xiaomi must do it, if everybody thinks that I am the right person, then for Xiaomi, I would love to do it. It is not an action on impulse, nor a stopgap. It is the result of my 70-day contemplation. At that time, there is only one sentence in my mind. Although tens of thousands may stand in my way, I will continue to forge ahead. Even though tens of thousands of people might question me or stand in my way, I will still be determined and forge ahead. That day, we officially announced that Xiaomi will build cars and Lei Jun will take the lead. In 10 years' time, we're going to invest $10 billion. So Xiaomi EV and $10 billion investment. This news is an earthquake to the industry. That night, we held a press conference. Actually, that day I was not in good shape. I was sick, seriously. I couldn't even talk. But on the stage, I never give myself any retreat. I said firmly that this will be my one last entrepreneurship, and I would love to bet all my reputations and achievements and fight for Xiaomi EV. At that time on site, I still remember the thunderous applause, and people gave me a lot of support and encouragement. And online, people are saying, defeat our competitors.
那一刻百感交
At
集。
that moment, I felt a whirlpool of emotions.
那天晚上
That night
是我们小米的不眠之夜。
was a sleepless night for Xiaomi. It was also a sleepless night for the car industry.
我收到了很多的信息。
I got a lot of messages.
最打动我的一条呢，
One that touched me most was a message I got at 5 a.m. I got a message from a colleague.
他叫刘安玉，
He's 刘
是
安
小米
玉.
早期的创业
He
者。
was
37
one
号
of the early entrepreneurs of Xiaomi, our number 37 employee. And since his childhood, he has been obsessed with cars. He thought he will never have the luck to
他
build a
业余
car.
时间
And in his spare
自己
time,
团了一辆大房
he
车
built
来
an
过夜。
RV for himself just for fun.
那天呢，他正好在广州出
That
差，
day, he was on a business trip in
看
Guangzhou,
了我们自己的
and
直
he
播发
watched
布会
the
以后
launch
激动
event.
不已
He was so excited.
当即拿着几个同事
Immediately,
到珠江边喝
he
酒
took a couple of colleagues to
喝完
drink
以后，
by
还觉得不
the
尽兴，
Zhujiang River, and
就在
after
江
that,
边走了整整
they
一
also
晚。
they walked by the Zhujiang
到了
River the
凌
whole
晨5
night.
点，他
Then
终于
at
下定
5
了决心。
a.m., he finally
这个机会
made up
他
his
一定不
mind
能错过。
he would never miss this
他就给我发了
opportunity.
条信息。
Therefore, he sent me a message
只要让他参与，
saying
干
that
什么都
as
行。
long as he can be part of this project, he would love to do anything.
那一夜，
That
彻夜难眠
night
的还有很
was
多人。
also a sleepless night for many others. For example, Li Tianyuan.
他当时呢在宝马德国总部
He was at
负责
the BMW German
iX 这个
headquarters,
这
responsible
辆车的
for
设计。
the design of iX.
他算是在欧洲混得很不错的
And
中国
he
设计师。
was a renowned Chinese designer
小米
in
的发布
Europe,
会深深
and
地震
Xiaomi's
撼了
launch event shocked him greatly. So he started to think about joining Xiaomi.
各位想一想，
Think about
对
it,
每一个人
everyone.
来说，
For
放
everybody
弃宝马总部
to
的
give
工作，
up his job at BMW headquarters and leave the comfortable life in Europe and persuade your family to come back to China. This is never an easy decision.
但是
But
他依然果断辞职，
still,
收拾行李
he quit his
举家
job,
回
get
国
packed,
投
and
身
take
到
his whole family
小米
back to
汽车的
China and
创业
dedicate
中来
himself to Xiaomi EV business.
还有胡真南，
Moreover, Hu Zhengnan,
他之前2次拜访过小米，
he visited Xiaomi
发布
twice.
后的
And
一
after
个
the
晚上，
launch events,
他给我打电话
one
说
night he called me. He said
他造车20多年，
that he has been in the car industry for 20 years. He worked in the public company, he worked in the private company. He also started his own business. His contract with the employer is about to due, and he would love to come out and see how an internet company builds
后
cars.
来他加入了
Then
顺伟，
he joined
再后
Shunwei
来
Capital.
他兼任了
Later
我
on,
的顾
he
问
became my advisor.
就这样，
So,
一群热爱汽车
a
的人
group of people who have profound love to cars come together from
我
around the
们在
world.
短短的半年之间的时间里面，
In just
就组
half
成了
a
超
year,
过1000人
we
的团队
formed a team of over 1,000 people. In the past 3
我们
years,
汽车部门已经超过了7000人。
our Xiaomi EV department has over 7,000 people, and
我们聚集了
more
超过
importantly,
1000位的技术专家。
we have gathered over 1,000 technology experts.
那个发布会
Therefore,
对我们组建
that
团队起了
launch
非常大的
event
作用。
played a very
前几天
important
晚
role
上
for us
我
to
们的
build the
HR 部门
team.
算了一下，
The other day, I asked our HR team to count. In 3 years, we have received over 380,000 applications. And still, I want to say that we always welcome excellent engineers to join Xiaomi EV's team, and we want to become a global top 5 car company. And to this end, we need more excellent people and talents. Xiaomi EV has caused great social influence.
我的一群企业家朋友们呢，也特别的关心。
Some of my entrepreneurs friends are really concerned, and on April the 5th, they came to Xiaomi together with a lot of questions in their minds. And those questions were mostly concentrated on 2 issues. Number 1,
你们现在才下场，是不是太
is it
晚？
already too late for you to go into the business of car making?
确实啊，3年多前造
Indeed.
车，和新势力相比，晚了6-7
Manufacturing
年。
cars 3 years ago were like 6 to 7 years late.
我说，
But I
智
answered,
能化才是汽车的灵
intelligence
魂，
is the soul
而
of
智
cars.
能化
And
在电动车的时代才
in
刚
the
刚开始，
EV era, intelligence is just the beginning.
而且汽车是一
Besides,
个百年赛道，
for cars, it's a channel
只要
of
你真心
100
喜
years.
欢，
As
只要
long
你
as you
真心
truly
想
love
干，
it and you truly
我
want
觉
to
得
do a good
任
job,
何时
I
候
think
都
any
是
time is
最
the
好
best
的时
time.
候。他们问的第二个问题说
And they carried with them more questions.
那
The
为
second
什么
question
小米
was,
汽车
then
不拿出来独立融资、
why
独
don't
立上市
Xiaomi
呢？
go
很多
to
人
the
听到
market
上市就热血
independently?
沸腾啊。
Many people, whenever
而且当时造车公司
hearing the word of
新能源汽车
going
公司的股
public
票
were
飞涨。
enthusiastic, and also it was a
我呢，
popular choice for
跟大家交
NEV
流，我
companies.
说，
Their shares
的确
were
有几家
rocketing
VC
very high,
给
and I
小米
said,
汽车开价了。
indeed, some
当时因为
VCs
市场特
have
别
given
火，
us
估值
offers.
100亿美金。
It was
各位想一想，
highly sought
小米汽车
after with
啥
a
都没有，就
valuation
估
of
值
about
100亿美
10
金。
billion US dollars.
而且花别
Just
人的钱
imagine,
造
we've
车
done nothing
几乎
yet,
无
but
风
we
险。
were valued at 10 billion US
谁能
dollars,
拒绝
and
这
to
样
be
的好事
financed
呢？
by others to make cars, it's
实话
like
实
zero
说，
risk for Xiaomi. Who could
我们也动过
reject
心，
it? So to
但
be
是想
honest,
来想去，
we had been
深思
moved,
熟虑后呢，
but
拒绝了。
after some thorough
为什么？
thinking, we rejected the offering
因为造车
Why？
的周期很长，
because it's a
如果我
long
们拿了
cycle
别人的
of car
钱，
making. If we took the
想法
investment
想
of
很
others,
长时间保持一致，
and
是几乎不可能。
it may took us a very long time to come to the same
而且，
page, which
在小米内部
was
造
almost
车，
impossible.
大量的人才、
Besides,
技术都可
To
以
make
直接用。
cars within Xiaomi alone, we could
我非常
directly
非常清楚，
employ
这造
our
车难度很
available
大，光靠我一个
technologies.
人肯定不行。
And I thought that
我
I
需
know
要
it's
小米
very
集团的
challenging
每
task.
个
I
人
cannot solely rely on my
都能
own, so I
毫无
must
保留地支
mobilize
持。
every staff
我希
in
望大家都
Xiaomi
能全
with
力
their
一
sole
起造车。
support. I hope that everyone
我觉得
could
我
go
们
all
才有
out
胜
to
算。
the business of car making for us to
所以
truly
最后
win
我们决
in
定
this battle. In the end,
小米
we
全资
decided
自己干，
that we
钱
would support
全部自己掏，
ourselves in this
风险
business.
全
We
部自己
financed
扛。
ourselves
只
and
要
we
能
carry
把
all
车
the
做
risks
好，
on
我
our
们
own
在所不
shoulders.
惜。
As long as we could make good cars, we were willing to sacrifice everything.
那天呢，
On that
王
day,
传福来了，
Wang Chuanfu came
理
here,
想也来了，何小
and
鹏也来了，
Li Xiang,
李
He
斌也来
Xiaopeng, Li Bin accompanied them
我还记
to
得后
Xiaomi.
来，王
I
传
still
福跟我
remember
说，
that later
他
on,
特
Wang
别
Chuanfu
佩服
told
我
me
们的
that
勇气，
he truly
但是呢，
admired our
多少
courage,
还是为我
but
们
still,
捏了把汗。
he was kind of worried about us.
这就是小米造车的起点。
That was the
如
story
果不是遭遇
of
美国制
Xiaomi
裁，
making cars in the
这样
beginning.
意外事件的巨大的冲
Without
击，
the
我们
accidents
不
like
会
sanctions
贸
by
然
the
进入汽车这
USA,
么复杂的
we
行业，
wouldn't
也不会有
rush
今天的
into
小
the
米
car
7
making business, and there would
所以
never be such a Xiaomi
无论
SU7
面对何
vehicle.
等巨大的
So,
危机，都不能被
whatever
吓倒。
huge crisis you
破
were
釜沉
wrapped
舟的
up
勇
in,
气
never
才
be
是我们
intimidated.
冲出
And the
重围
courage
的
to cut
关
off all
键。
means of retreat is the key to make breakthroughs.
当我们决定造车以后，
After we
其实
made
还
the
面临
mind
无
to
数
make
的挑
cars,
战。汽车行
countless
业
other
每年
challenges
发布
remained.
200-300款新
In the
车，
car business every year,
是一个
there was a
卷得不
launch
得
of
了的
about
行业。
200 to 300 series
作
of
为一
new
个
cars.
新来者，
It was a very
第一
competitive
辆车
market,
非常的
and
重
as a
要。
newcomer,
我
the
们该
first
怎么造
marketed
车？
car
我们该
truly
规划
mattered.
什么样的
What
车
kind
呢？
of vehicle should we
刚
make?
开始，
As the
我
first
们的
one,
团队呢找了一大
in the
堆的报
beginning,
告，
our
开始
team
学
has
习，
read
开始
a
研
lot
究，
of
写了上百
reports.
页
We
的分
started
析
our
材料。
study and we wrote hundreds of
我呢，
pages of
忍不住一
analysis,
上来就泼了
report,
盆冷水。
and
我说
I
各位
couldn't
不要
help
想这
but
么复杂，
throw a wet
我
blanket
们
on
能不
them.
能
I
先
said,
造一辆小
don't
米
make it
工
too
程师们都
complex.
想买的
How
车？
about we just make a car that's
如
favored
果
by
我
all
们
the
自己
Xiaomi
都不想买
engineers?
的话，
If we don't
那个
even
车
want to
造出来
buy
也没
our
用。
own vehicle,
我
it's
说我们
just
把
in
问题
vain to
简化。
produce one to the
好，
market.
第二个
So
问
let's
题来了，
simplify
那
the
小
whole
米
thing.
工程师
So
到
the
底想
next
买一辆什
question
么样的
is,
车呢？
what kind of car is favored
我们
by
组
the
成的团队
engineers?
呢，还的确挺专业的啊。
Our team was
大家的第一
quite
反应就是我们
professional.
找个
Their
调研
first
公司，
instinct
花
was to
几个
find an
月整
investigation
份报告。
company which would
在讨
come
论
up
的时
with a
候呢，我
report report after months. And during the discussion, I threw another wet blanket on them. I said that let's just cut it off. Even 100 reports could not replace a face-to-face communication with a real user. We must start right away. I asked all people to talk with the engineers one by one. In 2 to 3 weeks' time, we interviewed 300 engineers in Xiaomi. After the talks, we thought it wasn't enough. So, our team ran to the parking spaces of Xiaomi office buildings and saw with their naked eyes about what vehicles are driven by the staff. I know it's a very simple choice, but it's simple but effective. Very quickly, we learn about the price range, the types of vehicles, and the brands bought by them. For example, it's like half and half between the sedans and SUVs. From the R&D perspective, it's easy to produce the SUVs, but not the small vehicles, small cars. So, most of the manufacturers started from SUV manufacturing, but I took a different opinion. We decided to take a different path. We started from making the most difficult vehicle, that is the purely EV car, and then it would be much easier to turn to other vehicles. We determined to develop PEV. China boasts a very mature industrial chain. It's pretty easy to make a car. 3 years ago, many friends approached me saying that you were already a latecomer, just find an OEM to produce it. Never do this all on your own. For the starters, we agreed. We thought about acquisition and OEM partnership, but then after a while, we made another decision to start from the core technologies. We didn't want to take a shortcut. Why? Because we've had our hard lessons before. 14 years ago, when we started up our business, we had a model innovation, a lightweight model. We grew very fast in the beginning, but then, because we were not deeply rooted, we encountered many setbacks. Even today, I think we are still filling the loophole. So, when we decided to start up another new business segment, we didn't want to go to the shortcuts. No acquisition, no OEM. We just work on the core technologies, and with 10 times investment, we would love to make a very good car. When we made up our mind, we took solid steps to invest on it. For motors, we have 3 generations, and for die casting, we have 2 sets of die casting equipment. For smart auto driving, we have purely visual system and lidar system. We did the same thing with many core technologies. Allow me to share with you our story of the battery pack. People may think that a battery pack is a simple thing, but not so much. It took us like dozens of months to make such a battery pack with tens of millions of investment. So for the manufacturers to produce a car, usually they prepare like 2 to 3 battery packs for one car. But do you know how many we have for SU7? We had a dozen of battery packs. Moreover, to get a clear idea about battery pack, we even established our own battery pack factory of our own. Our team had a tough time, and our suppliers were also introduced into this turmoil. I called the CATL CEO, Mr. Zhen, to explain why it was so troublesome, and he said he totally understood. He once produced a battery for company A, and for just one cell phone in A company, which required maybe just one plan for the battery. But indeed, they developed 200 different battery cells. In the end, only one of them was used. So he said he totally understood. Only with so much efforts can we truly produce a good product. Just
从
like
核
that,
心技术出发，
we started
10倍投
from
入
the core technologies
我
with
们的
10
项目
times
一
of
开始
investment.
我们就启
From
动
the
了核心
beginning
技
of
术
our
的研发。
project, we kicked off
就
the
这样呢
R&D on the core
我们
technologies.
披星戴月
And time after time,
干了大半年，
we worked like
到
a
了
horse
2021年
intensely
年
for
底
half an
春节
hour.
前，
And
第一次
before the
项
Spring
目的
Festival
正式评审会开
3
始，
years ago, the first time
大家都挺
project
激动。
review
结果呢，这个
was
会开下来，
inaugurated. We were
开得特别郁
excited.
闷，
But after this
大家的
meeting,
分歧特别大，
we had a lot of disagreements.
吵来吵去呢，最后呢下
We
决心呢，
argued against each other
整个
for
产
long,
品方案
and
呢
in
推
the
倒重
end,
干。
we decided to start all over.
春节期间呢，我觉得
During
大家
that
的
Spring
春节都过
Festival,
得不好，都特别
we
特别焦虑，
had
我
bad
们的项目
time.
进度怎么办？
We were anxious about the
春节后
timetable
上
of
班的
this
第一天，
project, and on the
我
first
取
day
消了
after the
所有
Spring
的日程，
Festival, I canceled all my
把我
schedules.
们汽车部最核心的10几个人
And I gathered
全部抓
the
过来
core
开会，
members of the
商量
team of the
怎么解
vehicle
决。
for a meeting to think about how to start all over.
就这么一个临时召集的会，
For such a
谁也没
temporary
有想到
meeting,
一开的
it
整
never
整
occurred to
21
us that
天
it lasted for 21 days.
开成了一个马拉松式的会议。
It was a marathon.
刚开始，大家还比较矜持，
At first,
第二天真
we
的
were
就开始了，
reserved
越来
and
越激
restrained,
烈。
but starting from the
有时候一个
second
问
day,
题能
we
从
had
早上
bitter
9点吵
and
到
bitter
晚上
fights.
9点。
Sometimes we argued from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
在
for
这个
just
争论
one
的
small
过程
issue.
中，我就下了决心。
And during the debate,
我们的团
I
队
decided
什
again
么时候吵明白
that
了，我们就什么时
whenever
候上
our
会。
team
我们就一
was
直
crystal
开
clear
到吵
about
明
the
白为止。
situation, would we dismiss the meeting?
其实，当时我们的团队1000多人，
We
大
had
家都
about
在等我们这
1,000
个会
people
议
in
的
the
结果。
team waiting for the results of this
我们就是
meeting.
在进度压力巨大的时候，
Under the huge
我
pressure
们把所有的事
of
情放下来
timetable,
先吵清楚。
we put aside everything
今
else
天回想，这
to
个会对
argue
我们
about
很
this
重要。
topic.
因
So the
为
meeting was
我们
paramount
来自于五
to
湖
us
四海，不同的
because
背景。
the team members came from different
第一
places,
次有
different
如此
backgrounds.
长
It was
时
the
间
first
高
time
密
for
度
us
面
to
对面的
spend
讨
so
论，
much time to
帮助
have
了大
high
家
density
相
of
互了
debate
解，
face to
相
face.
互融合。
During the meeting,
这
we
21天的
had
会，我
better
总结下
understanding
来，
of
我觉得
each
形成
other,
了一个
and
最
we
最
came
最
closer
重
to
要
one
的共
another.
识。
So the
就是
most
小
important
米作为一个
consensus of
新
that
来者，
21 days of debate
只
was
要
that
能
as a
顺利上台
newcomer,
桌，就是
as
巨
long
大的
as
成功。
Xiaomi could make it to the card table,
所以
it was already
很多人
a
问我
success
说
for：“
你
us.
们3年为什
So
么把
many
车
people
造
asked
出来？”
us,
最关键就
why
是这
could
句话。
you make a
就是
car
小米
in
造
3
车
years'
要
time?
尊
The
重
key
行
is
业
that
规律，
we
守正
observe
就是要
the
先
market
守正
rules.
再出奇。
It
不
comes
要一
first
上来
to
就
abide
颠
by the
覆，
rules.
一
We
上来
shouldn't
就宣
think
布。
about making disruptions from the beginning.
所以，基于这21天的会议，
So, on top of the
我们
discussion during the
这10来个人
21 days,
就
the
成了真
dozen
正
of
的
people
战
in
友，
our team
可以背靠背
became
信任，
comrades in arms.
才能
We
应
trust
对
each
之后
each
的
other and we give our
无数
back
的
to
考
one
验。
another. That's why we could withstand
谁也没想到
numberless
春节
tasks
开了
ahead
21
of
天的
us.
会，春节后开了21天的会，
So we never thought about
会议一结
a
束，
meeting that could last
考
for
验来得这么
21 days
之快。
after the Spring Festival.
上海疫情爆发，
And after that meeting,
我们有不少
a
工程
test
师
came
在
to
上海。
us out of
我们研发怎么办
expectation.
呢？
The COVID-19 hit Shanghai.
大家
Many of
手
our
提肩
engineers
扛，
were in
把能
Shanghai. What
扛
about
回去的设备
R&D?
全部扛回了家，
They
在
carried
家
all
里
their
做研
equipment
发。
back home to do the R&D work.
有一位同学，
One of our
他就这样
colleagues,
把设备搬回家以后，
his
在
devices
家里
home
搭了一套工作环境。
and this is his workstation at
我们
home.
的超级电机的控制
Our
软件，
supermotor
就
control
是在他家
software
的客厅里第一次真正
was
运转起来的。
operated for the first time in the living room of his house.
这是一段非常非常难忘的奇特的经历
It。was a
我
memorable
们相
experience for
隔
us.
如此的遥远，
We were
却
separated
又
by
感受
geographical
到
distance,
如
but
此的紧密。
we felt so close to
我
one
记得
another.
苏七的
I
很
still
多很多
remember
产品
that
决策，
many
就
of
是
the
在各
product
种各样的
decisions
视频
about
会议
Su
中
7
完成
were
的。
made in such webinars.
我们甚至在这个期间还办了几
During
次
that time,
线上
we
的庆
even
功会。
held several online parties to celebrate our
当我们
success.
遇到阶段性的成果
Whenever
的时
we
候，
had stage
哎
by stage achievements. We just deliver the red wines to the homes of all the colleagues, and we had cloud party, wine party.
Well, it is the spirit of revolutionary romanticism that helps us to conquer different difficulties. The project is processing steadily as planned. And then on August 16, 2023, the first trial produced was slowly launched. On site, everyone was so excited. After twists and turns, Xiaomi Su7 has been delivered as scheduled, which is really a miracle. I believe that to make this miracle, it is all because about the efforts of 7,000 people of the whole team. I think we are a great team. Well, it's out of the performance than our expectation. I still remember after the ceremony, all the people went back home. Alone, I circled the trial produce again and again alone. And finally, I opened the car door and sit for a very long time. I couldn't believe that we really make the car. For that moment, I was quite emotional. In this regard, we can say that we chose to make the hardest pure EV, and we chose to start with the underlying core technology, and we chose to have a 21-day meeting at the busiest time. It takes a lot of courage and determination, because we know that only by insisting on doing the right thing and the difficult thing can we go further, and our Xiaomi EV can be truly successful. In the past 3 years, personally, I have been thinking that since I have been led the team, how we can make the good car. I have been thinking for a very long time. Later, I think the answer is quite simple. Know what you do and love what you do. Can we really do a good job? If we want to make cars, we need to know about cars and love cars, and then we got a chance to make good cars. And personally, I think the first step for us to build a car is that we need to drive by ourselves. To tell you the truth, about 10 years ago, because of my busy schedule, the company assigned me a full-time driver. And then I didn't drive much myself. From the day I decided to build a car, I made up mind to drive by myself. Getting back on the road, I was like a green hand. Quite hurry-scurry. It took me several days to get used to that. At that time, I asked my driver to sit on the front passenger seat, and my colleagues joked to him, "Well, you have the great honor to have your boss driving for you personally." Since for Xiaomi EV department, we have many veterans, and they have been working in this industry for the whole life, and they have been driving different kinds of types, and they know many things about cars. I was stressed out, and I have been thinking, I may need to fill this gap as soon as possible. I need to test drive enough cars and to fill the gap.
我首先呢就跟周围的朋友
So
去借
first,
车
I
看，
borrowed all my friends' cars.
接着呢就跟周
And
围的
then
同
I
事
borrowed
借，
cars from
结果
our colleagues.
1-2个月的时间就全部借完。
In 1 or 2 months, I borrowed
为
them
啥
all.
呢？因为他
Why
们
is
买的
that?
车型都
I
差不
found
多
that。everyone buys similar models.
后来
Later
我就
on,
决定呢，
I decided
要不
that
把各个品牌的 4S 店都逛一
I
遍，
need to go to the
然后
foreign
去那
stores
边
of
看车
various
去
brands
去试驾。
for a test drive.
每次去呢，我都
Every
戴着
time,
帽
for
子，
fear
戴
of
着
being
墨镜，
recognized, I
全
wore
副
a
武
hat
装
and
的，
sunglasses. I
但是
thought
好
I
像
was
没啥
fully
用，
armed,
很快
but
就被
it's
认出来了，
useless.
所以特
I
别
was
尴尬。
recognized as soon as I went. It's quite embarrassing.
后来我找了一个好办法，
Later, I came up with
我就
another
在
good
我
idea.
们小米的地下车库里转，
I went around in company's
看见没
parking
开
lot
过的
in
车呢，
Xiaomi.
就
When I
让
saw
助
a
理去
car
借，
that I didn't driven, I
助理呢
asked
就上
my
面贴个借车
personal
的条，
assistant to borrow it boldly.
有很多同事
Then
很
my
惊讶，说
assistant
啊，真
would
的是
put a
梅老
note
板要
on the
借吗？
car. Many
还专
colleagues
门打
would be
电话问我是
surprised
不是
when they
真的。
see the note, and they call me to check
我
whether
借到
it's
车
true
以后
or
呢，
not.
我特别
When
喜
I
欢跟车
borrowed the
主聊
cars,
天。
I like to
一
chat
般呢，我主要问
with the
3个问
owner.
题：
Usually, I ask 3 questions. The first question,
这辆车好在哪里？不好
what
在
do
哪
you think is good and bad about this
你
car?
当时为什么要买
And
这
why
辆
did
车？
you buy this car in the first place?
假如你要换车，你
If
打
you
算
buy
换一辆什
another
么样的
one,
车？
what are you going to buy?
然后呢，车主跟我讲了，我都记下来。
And I usually
接着
write
呢，
them
我才
down.
认认真真的
Then
开
I
个
drove
1-2
it
天。
seriously for another 1 or 2 days.
这还不算完，我接着再
Then
去
it's
上
not
网，
over.
找跟这辆
Online,
车
I
所
would
有
check
相关
all
的
the
资料，
information related to
再
this
去看网上
vehicle
的各种各样的评
and
论，
to
然后
see
再
the
把它
reviews
们
of the
记
users,
下来。
then wrote it down again.
这样的话呢，我对一辆车呢
Then
的认知就完整。
I fully
然后呢，
understand
我再
about all
加
the
满油，
information of this
洗好
vehicle.
车，然后再
After
还
that,
回
I
去。
washed the car, filled it up, and returned
我
it
觉
to the
得
owner.
不知不觉3年下来呢，
Before I knew it,
我大概
over
试
the
驾了
past 3 years,
170多
I
辆
had
车。
driven a total of 170 cars.
我看在下面有不少我们的同事和朋友啊，
I
我都
see
借
many
过
of
车
my
啊，谢谢。
colleagues.
谢谢。
Down there, I borrowed cars previously
前几
from
天呢，
you.
我
Thank you so
整理
much.
了一下笔记和
A
资
few
料
days，ago, I sorted out notes and
居然有20
materials,
多万字。
and there were over
所以呢，
200,000 words of
我是认
information.
认真真把这一课要补起来。然
I
后为
took
了
it
补课
seriously
呢
to fill the gap.
我还专门抽时
And
间
meanwhile, I
看
also
了很
read
多
the
汽车巨头的传
biographies
记，
of these car giants.
甚至呢，把过去看过的
And
赛车电
I
影全部
even
找出来
watched
重
all
看了
the
一遍。
racing movies I watched when I
以
was a
前主要是
kid.
看明星、看剧
Previously, I
情、
used
看
to see
热
the
闹。
fun.
这一次不
But
是啊，这
now
次主要看车，
I really look at the
主要是
cars.
看车。看完了以后呢，特别多的
After
感慨。
watching those
是
movies,
为什么人家法拉
I
利
was
做得好，
quite
保时捷做得好？
impressive.
你看看
Then I
人家
found
老
out
板
that it
人家的
makes
创始人
sense
都
that
是
the
赛车手。
competitors are doing well, since the bosses of these
你
competitors
说你不
are
懂，
all
你怎么能把车
racing
做好呢？
drivers.
哎，我心里就开始想啊，
Then I
我说我
thought
能
by
不能定个小
myself,
目标？
so maybe I can make a
我
small
能
goal
不
by
能够
myself.
成为国内车企老板里
So
开
can I
车
be one
最
of the
好的
best drivers among bosses of domestic car companies? Just be one of them.
低调，低调，低调，低调啊！
I just want to be modest.
还有，我能不能去开赛车？
I even wondered if I could drive a race car as well.
当有这个想法以后，我的第一反应是，
At
开
first,
赛车
I
是不是
think
很危险？
this idea was far-fetched. It
而
was
且
a
像
bit
我
dangerous
这样的
to
年轻
drive
人去
race
开赛
cars.
车，是不是有点不靠谱？
And people usually start racing cars in their teens. So do young people like me still have the chance to drive a race car?
我想了很久，
I thought
还
about
是
it
下
for
决
a
心
long
去试
time
试。
and
当然
finally
要开
decided
赛
to
车，先要考
try.
个赛
If
车
you
驾
want to
照
drive
啊
a，
先
race
考个赛
car,
照。
we have to get a racing
我的
license,
那个
right?
赛照呢是夏天学的，
I got the racing license in the summertime.
可能我不知道大家对赛车
I
有
don't
多
know
了解啊。
whether you know
因为
about
赛车呢，主要是
racing.
处理赛道上的极
As
致
we
工况，
know that
所以赛车里面能拆的都拆了啊。
usually racing cars have to be
基本上都
modified
把
for
空调
weight
拆了。
reduction. Everything that
各
can
位
be
想一想，北
removed
京的夏
from the
天
car was
温
removed.
度一高有时候
And
40度啊
AC，is also removed.
然后
For
车里都是
summertime in
60度，哇，
Beijing,
热得要死。
it's about 30 or 40
而且
degrees, and inside the car is about 60 or 70 degrees,
各位再看一下，
which is
这
very
就是我
hot.
学赛车的时候的
Ladies and
照片。
gentlemen, you can see the pictures of me when I was learning to drive.
各位， 穿着
While we wore the racing suits made of fire-resistant materials,
然后戴上这么
with
大的
such
头
a
盔，
big helmet,
还有坐着运动
and the
座椅
sports
啊，运动座椅
seat
是
give us
超
a
厚
good sense of road
可能很
condition,
多人
but
不理
it's
解为什么
terribly
那
hard.
些性能车和
People may
运动
don't
车的座椅都
understand
硬得不得
why
了，
these seats
是因为
are
要
so
有
hard
路
for this
就是
kind
你
of
的车压
vehicles
过一个
because
石
it can
子
give us
都
a
能够
good sense
迅速
of
感受
road
到。
condition. You can
所以
sense
赛
even
车
the
和那
rocks
些豪华车都
on the
是
track.
是吧？那些性能车
For
座椅都
for
很
example,
硬。
the
还有
performance cars
我们那
always
个
have
安
very
全带
hard
可是
seats,
6项安全带
and
啊
the six-way
在
safety
开车的时候都
belt
是往死里
is
勒的，勒得
extremely
你会有
tight,
点痛。
and you feel quite
像这么
uncomfortable.
全副武装在车上坐好的时候，是不
Well,
是看起来很帅？
After
实 际
all
上
the
非常的不
armed,
舒服。
you can see it's quite
非常不舒服。
handsome, but it's actually very
几十圈
uncomfortable.
跑下
After
来，
dozens of
全
laps,
身湿透，
my whole body
就像
was
洗了一次
soaked,
桑拿。
and I felt like I was
反正每
in
次休息的时候，我都觉得
prostration.
像虚脱了似的。而且呢，
Moreover,
新手学赛车啊，一不小心就冲出
and
了赛
as
道，
a
一不小
greenhand,
心
and we often hit the protective wall
而且
or
呢，
rushed out.
很容易就撞上了那个防护
It's very
墙，
easy for us to hit
老
the
司机管这叫
protective
上
wall.
墙。
And there's a
哎，所以
term
开赛车这
called
个每一个
hitting
墙
the
上过没
protective
有？
wall.
是吧？每一个墙上好几
And
遍，
we
你这个
feel
赛车才能
quite
开得好。
proud if we hit the
我觉得呀，我
protective
们
wall.
平时开车撞一次车是天
Usually,
大的事
we
情，
know that it's a
但
big
是一
deal
旦开赛
to
车
hit a car while driving.
哎，
However,
就稀
when
疏
we
平常。
drive the race car, it's just
而
a
且
normal
呢，
thing.
赛车是没有保险的啊，
And there's
被
no
撞了的话，
insurance
只
for
能自认
racing
倒霉
cars.
自己修车啊。无论是
And
你撞别人还
each
是
goes back,
被
and
撞
if you
啊，
get
都
hit,
是
you
各
should
修各
consider
的
yourself
车。
unlucky. So once
好，
we
我
got
让大家
hit,
看
we
一看
just
啊
go back home
反
and
正我
fix
们
our
每次
cars
有
by
同事撞
ourselves.
了，都挺激动啊，
Every time we feel quite
因为
thrilled
平时
when we
大家
hit
开
the
车都
wall,
很小心，
because
是吧？
previously we
基
were
本
so
上都很认
careful
真，
when we
但是
driving.
在赛场上是
But
经常
in
出
the
现。
track, we often hit the wall.
所以说到这里的话呢，赛
In this
车的话呢，
regard,
看起来很危险，
it seems like quite
实际上呢也不安全啊。
dangerous to race and is indeed
但是
unsafe.
这里我要提醒大家，就
And
是我
here I
们
would
开
like to
赛车的时候
remind
一
you
定要注
that
意
when
安全
we。drive the
最
race
重要的
car,
是，
we
你的
need to
赛
pay
车
attention to
一定要
safety.
经过改装，
And
要
your
改
cars
刹
must be
车、轮
modified,
胎，
and we
甚至我们
need
改了
to
安
modify
全
the
座椅
brakes, the，
甚至
seats,
装了防
as
滚
well
架。
as the
而且
harness, and
只要
even
你
installed a
遵
roll
守
cage.
规则的话，我
If
觉得
you
安
abide
全
by
系数还是
rules
很
and
高的。
followed professional
所以呢，
guidance,
这是
the
我在
safety
学赛
factor
道
is still
时，
quite high.
教练就反复要求的，就是
So
一定要遵
the
守规
trainer
则。
has told
你
us
的车
several
不
times
能
that we
拿一
need to
般的
abide
民
by
用
the
车去跑
rules.
赛道。反正我考赛照的时候是这么要求
So
的啊。
that is the rules
为了把赛车
when I
学好
attend the
呢，
test. In
我还
order
买了一个很高级的
to
7轴
practice,
模
I
拟
also
器，
bought a
是
7
吧？在家偷
axis
偷练，
simulator and practice secretly at
吃
home.
了不少苦，最后呢，
I suffered a
我
lot
终于拿到了赛照。
But I got a license successfully.
我呢，不仅仅自己练啊，我逼着小米
While I
的
learned by myself,
是吧
I also
团队
encourage our
也去练。
Xiaomi team
我
to
们的
do
管理
that.
团队和工程师
Well,
超过了
our
100
management
人
team,
拿
as
到
well
了
as
赛
the
照。
engineers, in total 100 persons
因为我
got the
相信，
race license because
因为
I
我
firmly
相信
believe that
一支真心热爱汽车的团
a
队
team that
才
truly
能
loves
真正把
cars
车
will
做好。
have the ability
你们
to
同意
make
吗？
cars well. Do you agree?
当然啊，我现在开车呢，是吧？在赛车
Of
手里面
course,
是业余中的业余啊。
I'm still a
但是为了
green
提高
hand
水平，我们经常
among
内部
all
还
the
举办各
races,
种比赛。
and we also organize
然后大家
internal
看看我们比赛的视频
competitions.
录像啊。
We'll also share with
那个
you
前
a
面那
video
辆车就是
clip.
我啊，
The car in front is
前面
mine,
过一个 U 型
The
弯
car，
你看我切弯
trying
的
to
动作很标
overtake
准
me，when
咣这
it
辆车把我
knocked
就
me
撞出去
out
了。
during the U-shaped turn.
可笑的是，这个同学呢，第二圈
Ridiculously, for the second
又在
lap,
同一个弯，
in the same
哎呦
place, same corner,
哎呦，他都是这么走的，又是个 U 型弯，咣
is
又撞了
also
一
the
下。
U-shaped turn. It knocked me out
哎，反
again.
正这个我就这么被撞了2次，修
I
车就
was
修了
hit
2
for
万5。
2 times and cost a lot of
这个
money to fix the cars.
我觉得呢，这个玩赛车以后，
Well,
我对车的认知，我觉得进了一
when When I practice
因为之前
racing,
自己开车，
I have better understanding towards racing. Previously, I have never experienced floor brake and floor oil. And I didn't know that how to make turns and how to have precisions. And after watching, and I really know about the secrets.
Therefore, I know more about the human-car harmony. Therefore, I think after learning my racing license, I really learned a lot. It was very helpful. And for every part of the R&D process, I can get involved personally. At the end of 2022, our prototype car started the winter test. It was in Heihe. It was minus 34 degrees outside, very cold. This is the very first major test to Xiaomi SU7, and I attached great importance to it, and the management team and I were there. The person responsible for the winter test was very surprised to see me. He said he was in this business for 20 years. This is the first time for a chairman of a car company to be part of the winter test, the very first time. And at dinner, he also asked the restaurant to add another dish because the chairman was here. The second year, I also participated in the summer test in Turpan. You know, summer in Turpan, the temperature was so high as 50 degrees outside. Think about it, your car under the sunshine. If you put it outside for the entire noon, can you imagine how hot it is? Some cars inside, the temperature can be 90 degrees. So when I get off the car, I thought sunblock was very important for SU7 because that can help us lower the temperature by like more than 10 degrees compared with other cars. Summer test was also difficult, but we also had wonderful memories. I can still remember the watermelon in Turpan. You know, watermelons in Turpan, they are big and sweet. Usually one watermelon is about 20 kilo. They taste good and they are super cheap. Usually the price is counted by kilos. You know how much is 1 kilo in Turpan? It is 5 cents per kilo. And our team in Turpan, they told me that now the price is even cheaper, 3 cents per kilo. So for a 20-kilo watermelon, it only costs you like 3 RMB. It is so cheap, and I even carried 4 to 5 watermelons back to Beijing, and I have to pay a lot. Because you need to pay the extra in order to get them transported to Beijing. Moreover, because this is the first time for Xiaomi to build cars, so quality is paramount for us. In January this year, we also organized the largest road test in the industry. We used 576 prototype cars and tested in 300 cities. On all the roads, and the total testing mileage is over 5.4 million kilometers. I think you have seen our testing fleet this year, so the coverage is wide, and this is the largest road test in the industry. And some people online say that whether Xiaomi EV is good or not, it is all about whether the executives of Xiaomi have the balls to drive it, because that was still the prototype cars. So do you have enough courage to drive it? An engineer saw this message and posted this message in our group chat and at me. I understand what he means. Then, quietly, I forward this message to our group chat for the executives and at everybody in it. All the executives of Xiaomi immediately responded to this, and they all participated in the road test. And they want to use themselves to prove the reliability of SU7. So all the executives of Xiaomi, before the launch of SU7, tested SU7 for 100,000 kilometers, and I participated in over 10 tests and drove for about 5,000 kilometers. And what I can still remember the most is in January this year, from Beijing to Shanghai, from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., 15 hours, I drove alone, and I drove 1,267 kilometers. I never thought I could drive alone for such a long distance. So thinking about this, at first, our PR colleagues don't allow me to do this. They're not worried about SU7. They're worried about me. They said, Mr. Lei, if you had an accident on the road, it will certainly become a PR crisis for us. So as I drove, their eyes are all on me. They are even more nervous and anxious than me. But the whole thing was a success. And to drive on the highway plus our smart driving system, I think the experience was wonderful for me. And I was also surprised by the test because, in winter and on the highway, the range of Xiaomi SU7 is very reliable, and I was very confident about it. It is because of our investment and dedication to battery technology, so Xiaomi SU7 can have such a wonderful performance in terms of range. So far, I've relearned how to drive, I learned how to race, I participated in the winter test, the summer test, and also the long-distance tests. All of these seems very easy and simple, but what I feel is that courage is never a slogan. It is each and every step you take. Do you agree with me? At this point, people online in the past few months have asked me to show them my drifting skill, and I remembered in one live stream I said that I know how to drift, and after that people urged me to show them my drifting skills, and I really can drift, but I'm not very good at it. If I show you this video, I believe many experts will criticize my drifting skills. Since it has been a long time and so many people have urged me, so I recorded this video to show you my drifting skills. It is not very good, just to show you. And don't watch it frame by frame, just for fun, okay? And it looks very cool. Let me show you this. My performance of drifting. Thank you very much. Thank you. So because of this exciting project, I have to thank the accident 3 years ago. This is why I can join such an interesting industry. So this is how we worked so hard for 3 years in the process of R&D, and we have been very low-key, and we didn't do any communication or publicity. So anything you saw at that time, it was only a leakage. We didn't do any publicity. And last December, it was the first debut of Xiaomi EV. And many people thought it was all of a sudden. It was like groundbreaking. Therefore, at first, it was a hit. It was so popular. But a few days later,
扑面而来的就是各种质疑、批评、
we saw
诋毁。
a great number of questions, slanders, and criticisms. Very often, people said that your competitors cannot do it in 10 years. How can Xiaomi do it in 3 years? This is a very difficult question for me to answer. How would I know why my competitors cannot do it in 10 years? Why don't you ask other people how many years does it take to really develop their cars? I think this industry is mature, and 3 years is just a standard time for you to develop a car. So I don't know how to answer this question. So we have seen so many criticism online, and our competitors are also making jokes of us, and they made fun of us.
有一句话，大家应该都听
And there was a saying online, I think you have all heard of it. Mr. Lei, stop.
外面都是叉叉。大家看到过吧？
You have seen this, right?
我觉得这些呢都是小事。
I think none of these are
我觉得真正的
important.
困难是，我们倾
The
尽
real
全力
difficulty
做的
is that we have dedicated everything to SU7, and it
做的书期。
took 7,000 people, and it took countless hours to develop SU7 because we need to keep it confidential before the launch. And 2 to 3 months before the launch, when we talk with our friends, everybody believes that the sales won't
哎
be
呀，这个
good.
给我急得不行。我跟他们说，我们的配置
I
体验
told
都比
them
摩托3好
that
很多。
our configuration and our experience are way better than our
买
competitors.
摩托3的
But
都是
they told
特
me
斯拉
that
都是马斯克
the
的铁
buyers
粉
of the buyers of other products, they are fans of Elon Musk. They won't buy
那
SU7.
3、4C 的用户该不该
Then I
升级？
asked maybe for 3, 4C, which represent BMW 3 Series, Audi A4L, and Mercedes C-Class, their users needs to upgrade, right? They want to buy a high-end smart vehicle, right? You know, 3, 4C represent BMW 3 Series, Audi A4L, and Mercedes C-Class.
入门
They
款啊
are actually the entry-level products of
我
BBA.
说那3、4C 的
So
用
I
户是要
thought
升级
maybe the
成
user of 3, 4C, they need to upgrade their car to a smarter
差不多
EV
产品更好。
at a similar price. Only the
我们
product is
的
better.
几个部门
And several departments
整了3份报告，
wrote
每
me
一份
3
洋
reports.
洋洒洒几十
Each
页。
report was
我看完都只有
was about
核心
dozens of
一句话
pages, and after
说人家
I
3
read
岁的
all
用
of
户
them,
买
there is only one conclusion. So those users, they only buy brand, and why should they buy SU7?
还有
And I don't know how
我
to
们
answer
精
this
心为
question.
车主设计的
Moreover,
防晒、
the
收纳
sunblock
好看
features and also the good-looking design we made for the female users, they say the female users will not buy a performance car.
你像我们干了3年多，
Then
这
what
么多
now?
人花了
We
100-200
spent 3
亿，
years,
都
we
做完了
dedicated over 10 billion to develop this car. However, the sales won't be good, and we can't sell it. Then I asked the marketing team to invite some media friends to help us. We invited 23 media friends to help us. And I never thought
绝大部分人都不看好，
that most of them
他们认为
still don't think we can sell this car very well.
能卖3000辆，
And they
就要烧高香
believe we will be very fortunate if we can sell 3,000 SU7. This is the conclusion they had, and I think they were very honest, but I don't agree, so I try to persuade
当
them.
然他们都是。是吧？对行业都非常了解。
Of course, they know this industry very well, and they are more experienced than me, so I talked for 2 to 3 hours, and I couldn't even talk more, but still, this won't change
所以
their
呢，这个
conclusion.
让人无比的绝望。
And this made me very desperate. The
笼罩在焦虑
entire team was caught by anxiety. I don't know if you still remember. Maybe in March this year,
很多人都说我憔
many
悴
people say that I look very
正好
pale.
网上呢，哎呀，有几张是吧？不堪回首的照片。
And there were several photos of me
就说我
looking
憔悴
pale online.
反正在那个时候呢，我是极度郁闷。
I was really frustrated at that
在我
moment.
最郁闷的时候，
And
我想起了
just then,
我
I was
试驾过的
hit
一辆车，
by
那是
a
我们一个
car
同事
that I
买的车
tested.
我借来
It
试驾
was
过
a
一天。
car of my colleague, and I borrowed it for
那是
days
一
to
辆
have
福特野
test
马，
test drive. It's a
40
Ford
多万的
Mustang.
性能车。
It's a 400,000
那个同事跟我
RMB yuan
说，
of performance vehicle,
那
and
辆车
that
就是他的
colleague told me
dream car
that that was his dream car.
是他工作了10年之后，
He worked for
积攒
10
了
years'
钱
time
买给
and
自
he
己的
saved
驾
some
驶。
money only to buy
他
that
跟我
dream
说，
car as a bonus to
每
him.
天早晨
And
一
according
上
to
班，
him, every
坐到
morning
车里，
when he
踏下
got
油
on
门
board
的
the
那
car
一刹那，
to go to work
他就
and
热血沸
he
腾。
slammed on the
每天晚
oil
上
and
回
he
家了，
felt
还在车里再坐一
invigorated.
会儿再上
And
班。
every night, coming home, he preferred to stay
我
in
此
his
时
car
此
for
刻
a
都
while
能回想
before
起他
going
当时跟我讲
upstairs.
的这些话。
I
到
could
现
still
在相信
remember his words and how shocked I was listening to him.
我真的相信，
I do
人
believe
生值得被奖励。
that
这就是一
we
辆
deserve
dream car
a
的意义。
bonus, and that's the significance
我
of a
们的
dream
小米
car.
17其实就是为他这样的
An
奋斗者设
SU7
计。
was just designed for
所以
such dream seekers.
我相信
I am
人们对
convinced
dream car 的向往。
that people's
我
aspiration
相信
for dream car
3年多
is
时
real.
间，
And
我
I
们整个
also
团队
believe that
全力
with
以赴地投
3 years of efforts
我也
of our
相信
whole team
小米苏7的魅
would
力
return.
和
And I'm
强
also
大的产品
convinced in the
所
charm
以无论多少人不
of
看好，
SU7.
但我始
So
终
no
坚
matter
信
how many
苏7一定
people
会大卖。
thought low of SU7, I remain confident about the big sales of SU7.
好，其实真正考验我的信心是
And
今年2月份，
the real test came to me
要
in
确定产能。
February this year when
其
I
实
was
生产
pushed
很
to
复杂。
decide on the
供应链
capacity
条很
of
长。
production. It was
我
a
们2月份要
complex
确
issue
定
with a
全面
very
产能
long
要订
supply
多
chain,
少
and we
货呢？
have to decide
很多人建议订
how
3万辆。
big should be the
文件。
order. Some people recommended 30,000,
我
which
内
was
心是
a
非常非常矛盾的。
conservative idea.
订
I
多
had
的
dilemma.
担心卖不掉，订少了担
If
心不
it's
够
set
卖，
too
大家
high,
又骂我饥饿
I'm
营
worried
销。
about the sales, and if it's
我
too
还记得
low
在23
target,
月份我接受
people
央
may
视一个
complain
采
that
访，我
it's
就
just
直
a
说
hunger marketing.
我既怕
I
卖不
remember
动，我又
that
怕
I
不
was
够卖，
interviewed by
是
CCTV
极度矛盾的。
talking about this dilemma
在这个时
of
候，
setting the order
我的
target.
这份自信
And
让我
in the
下了决
end,
心。各
my
位，
confidence
大家知道我们在年初定了多
enabled
少
me
吗
to make a decision. So take a guess.
？76000
What's the
辆。
target in the beginning of this year? 76,000.
这意味着什么？扣
What
掉
did it
爬坡
mean?
时间，
If
月
we
销1万。
exclude the
纯电
uphill
轿车
time,
月销1万
the
的只有一
monthly
辆车，
sales
就是特
was
斯拉的
10,000,
Model 3。
and there was
也就是
only
说，我从
one
第一天
competitor
就下的目标就是数
in
一
terms
数
of
二。
that absolute number. So we ranked
如果
among
卖
the
不出
top
去，意
two
味着什么？
in the beginning. What if we fail
可能大
to
家
sell?
对车卖不出去没概念啊。
You may
大
have
家
no
看我的
idea
工厂很大
for
是
the
吧？
EVs.
各位，我
You
那个工
may
厂只
think
能
that my
存
factory is
3000 的
pretty
车。
big, but that factory could only accommodate
大家
3
想一
days
想，
of
一个车
inventory.
库1000辆车的车库
Just
有多大
imagine
嘛？
how big
如果你有1万
is
辆车卖
a
不掉，你要
factory
租多
that
少
can
个足球
accommodate
场停车？
1,000 vehicles. If you
好
have
的，车一开始库
10,000
存就是那
cars
三
as
遍的，
inventories,
所以这
it
对我
would
们
be
来说
just
是个
piled
灭
up
顶之灾。
all over the factory.
这个76000
And that's
辆
quite a disaster
我
if we
深知这
fail.
是个疯狂的目标。
And I realized how
但我也
crazy
很
a
清楚
target was
其实我们
to
没
be
有
set at
退路，
76,000, but we had
我
no
们就
step
像
back.
过河的竹子一样，只能
We were
拼
crossing the
命往
river.
前冲。
All we could do is to charge ahead.
就在我巨大的焦虑中呢，我们离发布的日
With
期呢
that
就越
anxiety,
来越近了。
We were
在
so
3月
close
中
to the
旬呢
launch time.
发布会前，
In
我们办
mid-March,
了
before
唯
the
一一次
presser,
的媒体试驾会。
we had the only
媒体
one
老师们呢，第一次
interview
真
with the
正的
media
接触了苏7。
for test drives.
有一些人的
And
观
the
点
media
呢
friends
开始改
got
变
in
了。
contact with SU7 for the
他们说
first time, and they had a different idea about us. Some of the media friends
无法
said
想象这是小
that
米
it's
造的第一辆车
unimaginable that this is the first car produced by Xiaomi. It has such a high rate of completion with high value added, and it
他们说
looked
小米
classy.
确实有
And
高人。
according to them, Xiaomi must have some talented people
我
behind
悬
it.
着的心 才稍稍踏实了一下。
Listening to their comments, I was
但
finally
更大的
relieved.
难题呢是
But the
定价
next big challenge is pricing.
价格定错了，后果不堪
With
设
wrong
想。
pricing, there would
上百
be
亿的损失，
catastrophes. There might be tens of billions of losses, and 3 years' time were just badly
因为
spent.
新能源汽车跟纯电
But
池
for
是两个概念啊。
NEVs, it's a
新能源汽车包括了
completely
增程
different
式，包
car
括了插混，
because
这些
NEV
车
includes
是吧？
EREV
是油
or
电混合的。
PHEV
纯
or
电
even
车成本
hybrid.
很
But
高，
for
除
PEV,
了特斯
it's
拉，几
very
乎所有
costly,
纯电车都在巨额亏损。
except just one
所以
competitor,
合
maybe
理
the
定价，我
other
们的业务才能持续成
competitors
长。
of
超低
PEV
价
had a
只
loss
是饮鸩止
altogether.
渴。
So if we set the
当时网
price
上
too
有
low,
谣
it's
传
just
说
a temporary
定多少？14万
expedient.
九。
Some rumor
甚
went
至有人说
online
9万
that
九。
we may set our price at like
太离谱了，你这不打乱
149,000
吗？
or even 99,000. That's just misleading.
当然，更大的
Of
压
course
力来自于我们内部。
Bigger pressure comes from inside.
我们销售的同学们都是
Our
老板，是很有
salespeople
经验，
Were
他
old
们对
hands.
于纯电轿车
They were
一致信
experienced,
心
and
严重不足。
still, they lacked confidence in PEVs.
在发布会的前一天，
One day before the
我
presser,
们最后的价格决策会，
in our discussion of pricing,
但争论
which
非常非常激
lasted
烈。
not long, but witnessed
我呢
fierce
认为
arguments.
我们的
I
初期
held
配置
that
体验远超 Model 3
SU7 configuration and
我觉得我们要有
experience
勇气定
could
到
rival
21
our
万。
competitors. I think we
这个
shall
已
be
经比
brave
Model
to
3
set the
便宜
price
3
at
万。我觉得竞争力已经非常强
215,900,
大。
which was already 30,000
销售的
cheaper
同学
than
们
our
还是
competitor.
非
But
常担
still,
忧。
our salespeople
我
were
讲完以后，
worried.
整个会场一片寂
After
静，
my talk, all the
我真的很
people
无助，
in the conference
一
were
片寂静。
silent. I felt helpless,
直到现
among
场
the
的一位高
silence.
管说：“就定这
and
个
it
价
was
吧，
broken by
无
one
论卖多
executive.
少
He
辆，
said that
我们小米
just
都认了。
said it. No matter how many we sell, we would just take it.
3月28号
On
发布会
March the 29th, which was the time of the launch,
嗓子沙
I
哑，
was nervous, and
就
my
像
throat
10年
was sore
寒窗苦读
when
的
I
学
stepped
生
on the stage.
终于参加高
It
考。
felt like going for the
我在
Gaokao
台上大概
examination
讲了
after
半个多小
10
时，
years of hard work.
才一步一步放
And
松下。
I didn't get relaxed until I talked for 30 minutes on the stage.
为谁做的时候，
When I shared
3年来
who was the
压在我内
target
心的很
consumer
多
of
很多话
SU7,
脱口而出。
a lot of words that were
我说，
buried
苏七就是
in
为
my
这
heart
样一
for
群人
3
做
years'
的。
time were
他们不
burst
甘
out.
于平庸，
For
还
this
在为
group
梦
of
想奋斗。
consumers,
他们
they
向往先
didn't
进
want
的
to take
科技，
mediocrity, and
渴
they're
望
still
幸福
fighting
的
for their
生活。
dreams. They have
他们
flames in
心
their
中有
heart
火，
and
眼里
lights
有
in
光，
their
浑
eyes.
身都
They
闪耀
aspire
着
for
乐
high
观与
technology,
自信的
and they are
光芒。
shining with confidence and optimism.
当我公布定价，
When I announced the
现场
price,
的观众一片欢呼，
applause
我心里踏实
sounded
了。
on the site,
小米苏七应该
and
成。
I felt relieved. I think we made it
发
for
布会后呢，我接
SU7.
受媒体采
After
访
that，launch, I took some media
一个
interviews.
同事非常激动地跑进来告诉我，
One of our colleagues dashed
4分钟
inside
破1
to
万。
tell me excitedly that
27分钟
within 4
后
minutes' time, we exceeded 10,000,
那一刹
and
那，
within 27 minutes,
仿佛一切
the
都
order
如此
went
美
up
好。
to 50,000.
3年来所有的痛
Everything
苦
looked
委屈
romantic. All the
不便理
grievances,
解
misunderstandings
全部
in
烟
3
消云
years'
散。
time disappeared.
而且同事告诉我，
And he
有
also
很
told
多
me
很多的用户
that many users,
没有试驾过苏七，
without
甚至
any
没
test
有
drive
见到过车
or
就
even
直接预定。
a glimpse at our car, booked it.
而且呢，有一个朋友讲了一位米粉的故事，
A friend shared
让
with
我
me about
特
the
别
story
的
of
感动。
Xiaomi fans. I was moved.
这位米粉呢，叫申丽丽，
His name
39
was
岁，
Shen Lili,
是
a
川大数学
39-year-old
学院的一
professor
位教
of
授。
math school of Sichuan University.
他是米粉，
He was our follower, and he's been supportive of Xiaomi for years. 3 years ago, when Xiaomi announced our decision to manufacture cars, he thought it was the critical moment of Xiaomi, and he must step up to support us. And instantly, he bought a parking space in his neighborhood to save it for Xiaomi vehicle.
他就在发布会当晚第一时间
On the
下
night
了订单。
of our launch, he placed his order. And finally, the empty parking space left there for 3 years' time, waited for the moment of SU7. So you could imagine the confidence given to Xiaomi by our fans.
各位，我们再看一
So
下
dear all,
手车
let's
仪
take
式。
another look at
当我
this
弯腰
ceremony.
为车主开车
When I
门的
bowed
时
to
候，
open the
这是
gate
对
for the
米粉朋
owner
友们发
of
自
the car,
肺腑的感激。
I was truly grateful to our fans.
这个无意之举呢，在网上火
That move
就成了
was
前
popular
一
online.
CEO
The
开
headline
车门的
went,
段子。
the
后来
CEO
搞得
opened
车
the
企老板
gate
们都要
for the
去开车门
consumer. And many other car manufacturers prefer to
到了
open the
北
gate
京
for
车
their
展
consumers later.
我就成
And
了
when
别
it
人
came
眼
to
里
the
的营销之
Auto
神，
China, I
行
became
走
the
的
marketing
流量
god. And even
说以
the
前车
traffic
展
on the
看车
move.
模，现在车展
People
看
joked
CEO 啊
that previously in the Beijing Auto Show, they looked at the showgirls,
我
but
知道。
now they are looking at the bosses.
这
So
全
I
部
know
来自于小
that
米
all
苏七
this
巨大的
came
成功
from the
和
great
一
success
眼万年的魅力。
and charm of SU7.
在苏七的巨大的成功下，在
On that
所有
basis
合作伙伴的共同努力下，
And with the joint efforts
5月份
of all our partners,
我们发布了
May
新的交付目标。
we
年底我们保
readjusted
底
our
交10万
delivery
辆，
goal. By the
递
end of
增
this year,
12
the
万辆。
bottom is 100,000, and we would aim higher at 120,000.
其实这个目标，因为我们4月份才开始上市，只有
Since we
9
just
个
got
月的时
marketed
间
in
要
April,
赶
that
12万
left
辆
us only
再加
9
爬
months
坡。
to catch up
这对我
in order
们，
to aim
这
at
对整个小米汽车的供
120,000.
应链的所有
For
合作伙
the
伴都是一个巨
entire
大的挑战。
supply chain, all the partners
所以，这
of
就是我
Xiaomi
们
included,
对
it was a huge challenge,
米粉朋友们的承诺。
but it was our commitment to
小
the
米苏
Xiaomi
七
followers.
首战告捷，
The
这
first
意味着
battle
小米汽车
was a
终
victory
于挤
because
上
of
了台桌，
SU7, and Xiaomi
但
finally
我们
made
离
it to the
真
card
正的成功
table.
还差很
But
远。
we still have a long
我
way
们的
to
长
go
征
before we
才
realize bigger
刚
victory,
刚
and our
开始。
long march just got off to a start.
过去的3年，
The
对于
past
我
3 years,
对于小
for
米
me and for
都是一
Xiaomi,
段脱胎换骨的经历。
was a process
小米
of
苏七
reshuffling.
成功的背后，
Xiaomi SU7's
凝聚着
success
巨大的勇气。
was the result
这不是某一个人的勇气，
courage.
这是我们小米集团
It's not
4
the
万多
courage
名
of
员工
one person,
共同的
but
勇
rather
气。
that of 40,000 colleagues.
勇气并非没有恐惧，
Courage
而
doesn't
是
mean
面对恐惧
it
的时
has
候
no
依
fear,
然
but
坚
rather
定
in
不移。
front of fear, we
勇
remain
气来自于
unflinching.
坚定的信念
And，
奔涌不息
courage
的热
comes
情
from firm，
还有
confidence,
每一步
a
的
burning
脚踏实地。
enthusiasm, and every solid step we
勇
make
气就是
Courage
人类最
is
伟大
the
的
greatest
赞歌。
hymn of mankind.
朋友们，
Dear
愿你任何时候都
I
拥
hope
有
that
勇
anytime
往
in
直
your
前的
life you
决
could
心
always
和披荆斩棘的
harness
勇气。
that decision to march forward and to blaze a
今
new
年我们的
trail.
年度演讲呢就到这里
So that's
结束了。
about our
大家呢
annual
休息一会儿，
speech. You would
下半场新品发
have a
布会
short break,
马上
and
就来
the。second
好，
session
待
of
会儿见。
our new products launch
今
will
天我
come
接到
very
邀
soon.
请，来到
See you
北
then.
京亦庄小米汽车工厂，带大家看一看小米是如何造车的。这可能是我见过的最大的汽车工厂了，整个园区相当于故宫的面积，每隔76秒就有一台新车从这里开出来。小米苏七就是诞生在这里。如果你要问小米汽车工厂和其他的汽车工厂有什么不一样，看 这就是小米自主研发的钢铁巨兽，9100吨的小米超级大压铸机群。什么叫做超级大压铸？我给大家简单打个比方，假设我的2只手就是模具，模具将会以9100吨的压力紧紧合在一起，随后注入液态金属，高速压铸成型。等它凝固之后，模具打开，一块小米汽车一体压铸的厚底板就出来了。整个过程也就100秒左右。
我们小米要做好车，就必须要掌握核心科技，所以我们小米自己干。这个一体化压铸的最大的优势，它是将传统的70多个零件一次性压铸成型，减少了800多个焊点，从而将这个整车的性能和钢具的结构得到很大提升，重量减少了17%，
更扎实耐用了。生产完的这个汽车厚地板怎么保证它的质量呢？就靠这个 AI 质检、X 光压铸件检测流程。实际上啊，就跟我们在医院体检拍胸片一样，有没有内伤一眼就能看出来，速度比人工快几十倍，准确率还能达到99.9%以上。检测过后的一体压铸厚地板和其他冲压完成的零件，都会被送到这个车身车间来进行组装。我在这儿已经逛了半天了，除了机器人还是机器人，这车间里几乎都看不到人。看这个机械臂工作特别治愈，我从这当中好像都看出了舞蹈的美感。你看这位，一边唱歌一边干活。季厂长您好，
邵老师您好。
我刚才在咱们这个车间里面转了半天了，一路走过来，基本上看不到工人。
因为我们小米造车的过程当中应用了大量的自动化的技术，我们是把所有的连接的技术都交给了我们的机器人来完成。这里面包括我们的焊接、铆接，还有胶接。
就包括这里面所有的这些焊点。
对的。那么其次呢，在生产的过程当中，我们也100%应用了自动化的这种监控的技术，来确保我们整个车身的这个品质，可以实现中型零件、大型零件100%的自动化的上线。在条件具备的情况之下，我们可以实现24小时的连续的自动化生产。
所以自动化、智能化，再加上先进的车身连接技术，
对的，
这样的车啊，质量差不了。从车身车间出来的白车身，经过涂装车间喷漆之后，在总装车间安装上小米自研的 CTB 电池。除了电池，还有前后挡风玻璃、方向盘、座椅、电机，这些都会在总装车间完成装配。这样，一辆崭新的小米汽车就要迫不及待地与您见面了。
咱们试一下弹射起步，走！
哇！我天！这！哇！这汽车还是火箭？这绝对是 F1。柏油路面上的最高速，
贴地飞行的
贴地飞行。
每一台车都需要在这里经过这样的测试，
所以这个对于车架、悬挂、车胎都是考验。季厂长，您这给我带哪儿来了？这还是厂里吗？我怎么觉得像是在一个冷库里？
因为电动车呢，大家最关心的一个问题之一啊，实际上就是它的续航。
冬季，
尤其是冬季的续航。
对，极寒条件下。
那么现在我们所处的位置呢，是在我们工厂里面的整车环境模拟实验室。这个温度模拟了，在黑河、在雅克池，基本上在冬季的温度。
我说我怎么感觉到耳冰了呢？所以我知道现在测试的相当于是极限工况下小米的续航能力。
对的，在这种低温的环境之下，首先我们的充电速度，同级的产品里面我们要快20%左右。那么同时我们在冬季的续航里程，在行业里面也处于一流的水平。像这样的实验室呢，在我们工厂一共有29个，所以我们讲我们小米的汽车工厂是产研深度融合的一个智能化的工厂。
我跟你讲啊，也就小米扛得住，我扛不住了，撤。逛了一天小米汽车工厂，我最大的感受就是小米造车的底气，自主建厂，并且在关键步骤上自主研发。正是这种创新的定力 和对品质的极高追求，成就了小米汽车的底气和原动力。我相信，小米以及其他科技企业的加入，将会给中国汽车产业带来全新的变革和活力，用新质生产力去引领新能源汽车的产业浪潮。
Welcome back. Now we will start the second session. And please give me a warm applause. Thank you. Today we have prepared many stunning products. First, we're going to release two foldable flagships, a large one and a small one. And first, let's release the large foldable flagship. And this is the first generation of the large foldable mobiles, which is quite stunning. Now let's look at a video clip.
去年呢
Well, last year, the reputation of Ford 3 was really good. For the very first time, we achieved both thin, light, and all-round flagship in one machine. And this year, and we do better. First of all, we developed top all-round flagship, and meanwhile, we'll make it the top level. Besides, we want to make it the lightest and thinnest within the industry. Now let's have a look. As a large model and how light it can be. Well, it's lighter. It only has 226 grams. It has surpassed all the other foldable flagships. It becomes thinner at just 4.59 millimeters when unfolded, and just a little bit thicker than the SIM card slot. And when we fold it, it's only 9.47 millimeters. It also surpasses many flagship foldable machines. In this regard, I'd like to share with you that the hand feel is excellent. Well, it's out of your imagination. It's comparable to that of the flat display flagships. Why is that? First of all, it features quad curved display. And meanwhile, it is equipped with the quad curved back and the curved metal frame. Equipped with so many different technologies, it only has 0.9 millimeters. It feels so amazing that when you hold it, and you even forgot that this is a foldable mobile. By saying this way, you may not understand. I strongly recommend you to our stores to have a look and feel it within your hand. And we also invite many people to feel it blindly, and the majority of people believe that for this large foldable, and its hand feel is better than that of the flat screen ones.
右边更轻一点，咱这个比较轻，右边这个比较轻，差不多呀。 这个轻不会，
我右边更轻一点。
这是苹果 iPhone
我挺喜欢 iPhone 这种方方正正的感觉。我喜欢轻的，我喜欢那种的。
右边的话，相对于轻选右边。
右手边的手感更有顺滑一点。
好熟悉的触感。
Well, 62% of the people believe that it has a better hand feel. So for such a complex foldable machine, to make it so thin and light is a complex thing. And it needs a series of technological innovation. I'd like to share with you several points. Well, first of all, is about the proprietary hinge. It is the core device. Well, we have our proprietary hinge, which has been upgraded to second generation this year. Well, it uses the most advanced 3-element connecting rod structure. Last year, we have already made it so thin. And this year, we make breakthroughs and narrow it, and it becomes more precise. Now let's have a look. The first element narrowed 8%, 28% for the second element, and 26% for the third element. In total, 34% narrowed. So, as you can see, the total number is 34% narrowed, and width has been reduced by 11.7%, weight has reduced by 16%, and the water drop arch has reduced by 15%. So it becomes more precise compared with the last generation. So how precise it is, as you can see, and diameter is only 1.8 millimeters, and just like half of the rise, and it has 12 pliants, and the area is less than 0.01 millimeters. With such a precision that we can generate the best hinge. And it also adopts the 1800 AMPA high-strength steel, with very high stability. And the proportion of the high-strength steel accounted for 82.6%. How strong is the strength of the hinge? Well, this is 2.0 generation of proprietary hinge. It is quite thin and it's reliable, and it can shoulder about 500,000 times of folding. We have a test to see the pressure. Have you seen it? When it comes to the 59 kilometers, it has been crushed, and our hinge is still perfect. Well, our hinge is small and reliable, and second, it's about the whole carbon architecture. Do you know more about it? Well, it refers to the carbon fiber. In order to be strong, and to reduce the weight. And for the first time, we have been using this whole carbon architecture within our mobiles. Well, we have been using the T800H high-strength carbon fiber. Well, its strength has reached 5,500 MPa, and impact resistance has been increased by 300%. With such advanced materials, and we made it. We have achieved 100% carbon fiber of the hinge plate, as well as the screen lining and the middle frame battery compartment. With so many carbon fibers, it's quite thin and has extremely high strength. So what about the level of the strength, how strong it is? Let's take a look at the test. Well, within the 1.5 meters of the extreme testing, well, it's still perfect without any harm. Isn't that amazing? And for the first time, we adopted the whole carbon architecture, which is quite expensive, but it has its own advantages. It's quite light and it has very strong architecture. Besides, well, it is a system when we have the stacked design, and we need to carry out a lot of innovation. Another example is about the motherboard. Well, we have very precise motherboard. Let's have a look. This is second generation, the third generation, and this is the new one we are going to release tonight. As you can see, we have more components. However, we have light size of the motherboards. It only accounts 80% of the previous one. Within such a small motherboards, we have been using so many different, in total 2,500 components. And we also have 857 of the ultra miniature components.
So how did we do it? Let's take a look. So layer by layer, we stack the motherboard. It is like we made a 5-story building on the motherboard, 3 motherboards, and a 5-faceted design. And this is the most advanced design for the motherboard. In such a light and a slim foldable display with extreme stacking, we also support 50 watts wireless charging, and this is the first time for us to use IPX8 on a foldable display. Therefore, when we make it lighter and slimmer, we have done a series of technological innovation. Let's take a look at a video to see the technological innovation we have made on this foldable display. Wow, it is incredible. So we can say this is the best performance among all the foldable displays. Maybe you are also curious how such a slim and lightweight smartphone can become a top configuration all-round flagship. Let's take a look at the display, because the core of the foldable display are the 2 displays on it. The outer display is a standard flagship flat screen, and the inner display is a foldable 7.98-inch display. So the outer display is like a flagship flat screen, and the inner display is the size of an iPad mini. So compared with a flagship flat screen, the cost of this foldable display is 7 to 8 times. So these 2 displays are the most expensive, and these 2 displays are top-notch. First, the outer display. It is a quad-curved display. We also used the Xiaomi Shield glass to protect it. Therefore, its drop resistance is better. For the inner display, it is a Polars Plus display. It is a super low energy consumption display. We also used the UTG glass to protect it. Now, some competitors are still using the CPI. But when you use the phone for a long time, you can see the crease on it. So both of them are the top-notch displays in the industry. For this display, they both have 418 ppi, 3000 nit peak brightness, 1 to 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate. They both have PWM and DC dimmings, and they are also professional true color displays. So they are the top-notch displays. At the same time, it has the best performance. We're using the most advanced Qualcomm processor. This is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Its LPDDR and UFS are the best. It also supports Wi-Fi 7. It also has a massive VC cooling. In addition, we also have 4 self-developed Surge T1 signal amplification chipsets. Its cellular performance is improved by 58%, and Wi-Fi Bluetooth performance is improved by 16%. As a top-notch flagship, it supports two-way satellite communication. Moreover, it is also suitable to use it when you're abroad. We now support 180 countries, and we also support over 500 operators. In addition, when you arrive in a different country, we also provide you with 300 megabytes traffic for free. And also the biggest challenge for affordable display is the battery life. When we design this phone, our goal is to make it have the best DOU. So how good is our battery life? In such a slim, foldable display, it is powered by a 5100 mAh battery. We now use a more advanced Xiaomi Surge battery, so it has a 5100 mAh battery. It is 300 mAh more than the last edition. And the last edition is thicker than this edition. It only has 4800 mAh, but this one slimmer but 5100 mAh. It supports 67 watts turbocharging and 50 watt wireless charging. In addition to the Xiaomi Surge battery, what are the other technological innovations? Let me mention another one for you, which is very important. We used Xiaomi stacked cell battery in it. First of all, let me tell you, stacked cell battery, what does it mean? Usually, the traditional battery is in the form of a cubic, but this time, in order to maximize our use of the inside space, we make it a atypical form like this. Secondly, in the past, in order to improve the production efficiency, usually the batteries are winded, but there are still spaces at the corners. But this time, we make it a layered battery technology, so we can maximize the use of the space. Therefore, you can have an additional 260 mAh battery. Therefore, we are actually pursuing the extreme technology. In addition, our battery management system has 4 Xiaomi self-developed Surge chipsets. On the basis of G1 and P2, we used another R1 chipset to improve the charging and discharging efficiency. Therefore, we have done a series of optimization. The DOU, it first comes with the battery. Secondly is our comprehensive technological capability. With a series of technology, the overall energy use of this phone goes down by another 13.5%. Especially we used a energy-saving display. We can save a lot of energy compared with our competitors. Let's compare it with a competitor. You see, its battery is more or less the same with Fold 4, but you can see the DOU. We are 51 minutes longer in terms of DOU. We are 51 minutes longer than our competitor. So when this Fold 4 is launched, I would love to invite our media friends to test it. You will be surprised. Now let's move on to image. Many people are curious. In such a slim foldable display, will the image capability be discounted? For many competitors, actually, their imaging system is not as good. So now let's take a look. So quad camera across all focal lengths. This is the only foldable display that maintains the quad camera across all focal lengths. For many competitors, because of the pressure, they have to change to 3 cameras. And for all focal lengths, they are all large apertures. In addition, we also have a 5 times periscopic telephoto lens. Incredible, isn't it? Furthermore, we have a dual telephoto. We also have a 2 times telephoto with floating focus lens. You can use it to take macro shooting. So the shortest focal length is only focus length is only 9 centimeters, and all cameras are Leica optical lens Sumilux. With all this, this is a top-notch flagship imaging system. Let's take a look at some example pictures. This is the ultra-wide angle. And this is the main camera in dim lights. And this is the portrait using the 2 times telephoto camera. And this is the 5 times periscopic lens. It is a picture of the flyboard. It is very cool, but I don't know how to do it. And you can also use the 5 times periscopic lens to shoot close up. I will not elaborate on all of them, but I am very confident to say that this time the MiX Fold 4 is definitely the best in terms of imaging capability and performance. It is boosted by Xiaomi Hyper OS. This time we paid close attention to software adaptation. For the top 500 applications, we have high-quality adaptation. And our definition is that for high-quality adaptation, it must support full-screen parallel windows. You can also rotate to horizontal screens. So this time we have high-quality adaptation, and we also support over 100 document formats. And you can also use the Apple Office apps. If you want to use the inner display, it is very easy, and you can also use it for video conference because you can fold the display. And if you use it for entertainment, you can use it to watch videos. And with a foldable display, you can also use the simultaneous interpretation function. When you talk with a foreigner, the outer display will show the local language and the inner display will show the Chinese. We support 12 languages now, so when you travel abroad, it will be very easy for you. So this is the top configuration all-around flagship, affordable display that is slimmer and lighter. And we have did several technological leapfrog, and also the reliability is greatly improved. It comes in black, white, and blue. And this is a bright and highly saturated blue, very beautiful. Last year, we launched the Xiaomi Composite Fiber Edition. It was warmly recognized by the market. This year, the material is further upgraded. The strength goes up by 42%. It is 25% stronger, and the impact resistance goes up by 15%, making your phone stronger and durable. And the patterns are finer and more delicate and exquisite. Therefore, this year, we also have the Xiaomi Composite Fiber Edition. So this is the Xiaomi MiX Fold 4. It looks very good, and also the experience is wonderful. Let's take a look at some pictures. It is very lightweighted, and the white is also very beautiful. The inner display Hyper OS gives you a wonderful experience. You can hold it easily in your hand. For such a top configuration all-round flagship, for such a slimmer and lighter foldable display, how much is it? Let's look at the last edition. Compared with the last edition, our battery is 5100 mAh. We have IPX8. We also have two-way satellite communication. Also, the processor and others, they are all upgraded. And compared with the last edition, you see how light and how slim it is. It is incredible. And also, we invested a lot in it. For example, the full carbon structure, the Xiaomi proprietary Hench 2.0, and also the triple-layer penta-faceted motherboard design. All of them requires a lot of investment. So for such a top-notch flagship foldable display, honestly speaking, I don't know how to describe it. How much is it?
我们跟上一代一样啊，跟上一代一样。
Same with the last edition.
这个是非常非常超值的一款手机。
This is a very cost-effective smartphone, value for money. It comes in 3 editions. 16 plus 12, 9,999, 16 gigabyte plus 1 TB, 10,999. So this is the Xiaomi MiX Fold 4. Now let's move on to the Xiaomi MiX Flip.
很多人问。
Many people ask, why do you launch a flip so late? So 5 years ago, we started the pre-R&D, and 3 years ago, we approved this project, but we never launched the product because we think the technology for flip is not mature. Many people say that a flip is a good for nothing. Truthfully, I used many flip phones. I don't think they are easy to use. So after 3 years of hard efforts, we believe Xiaomi MiX Flip can radically resolve the pain points in the user experience, and we want to reverse people's impression on flip as a good for nothing. After using MiX Flip, I hope people will say this is a good for everything. So now let's take a look. First, it is good looking.
For flip phone, the appearance comes first, and then let's see if it's user-friendly. Very beautiful, huh? More information to share. The glossy metal frame, lacquer photography, all-around liquid display. It's a quad display, and also Xiaomi shield glass, curved back, good grip. Also, for such a flagship flip, it's only 192 grams. It feels nothing on your hand, easy to carry. It's portable and very easy to carry in your pocket and easy to hold. We have colors of black, white, and also purple. It's a light purple color. We used a glitter sand glass with silk-like sands and very exquisite with no fingerprint left on it. We also introduced a nylon fire edition. It's a new material. It has ultra-resilient fiber braiding and unique 3D patterns. It feels very smooth, just like the girl's handbag. And also, we have 2 top configuration flagship screens. One is 4-inch, the other is 6.86-inch. For the 2 displays, they are both 1.5K with high dpi, with the same material for brightness, and they were used together with very good user experience. The outer screen is also adopting the shield glass. The inner display adopts the UTG ultra-thin flexible glass. So it's very durable. 2 top configuration displays. Just like the Fold, Flip can also endure 500,000 folds. I've used Flips before. People complain about the trouble of unfolding it. So could it be used without flipping it? For the outer screen, usually it looks like a watch for the users to check the messages. It's like useless. So we are wondering, could we still use it to the greatest degree without flipping it open? So another good news for Flip is that it's a very user-friendly flip cell phone without opening it. You may not believe me when I say it. It's just like a powder box size. How could we use it to the full without opening it? We once designed a plan for the Flip. It's a 4-inch display without any camera on it in the beginning, but I denied it because I thought without the camera, the video conferencing or scanning the QR code for payment or selfies could not be taken. So we said no, and we must put on the camera. But the next question is, for such a small-sized display to have cameras, it looks weird. That's an issue of software adaptability. That's why Android and phones have the same pain point of software adaptability. So how did we solve it? We came up with a very smart solution. Let's take a closer look. We have a display area. It's a 3.5-inch display. It's 16:9 classic ratio, and basically all the software, all the apps could be accommodated. You might be wondering, 3.5-inch, is that enough? But never forget that our competitors' cell phone used to have the exact same size. So a 3.5-inch flip cell phone is very unique, and we can be adaptable to 2 cameras and a display area. All the apps could be used and displayed. For example, we can accommodate 200 most frequently used apps, like TikTok and the Redbook, Bilibili, or any music apps. They're all fine. Another edge is, with only 3.5-inch of display, our input is all displayed. We can support 26 letters or the quick dials, just like your usual cell phones. So, commonplace input box, while the display is only 3.5-inch. That's a good idea, right? And also we have the smart widgets, the multifunctional widgets, focus notification, and others. Basically, all the spaces are made for use of. Another question that hit you might be, when we close the Flip, we cannot call somebody. We could only listen to the speaker because of the position. So we had another idea. We had the special receiver and mic for the Flips. You don't need to flip it open in order to call someone. It could be daily used cell phone without opening it. We invited a female racing car driver called Tiedou to test if this Flip could be used for 1 whole day without opening it.
Hello， 大家好，我是赛车手铁豆。我今天呢收到了一个特别的任务，挑战不打开小米 MiX Flip， 仅用外屏使用1整天，这可能吗？今天呢刚好是我的训练日，我们出发吧。小爱同学，来首音乐。
准备出发。
你好，一杯冰美式。我们今天的任务呢是要完成新轮胎的测试。太闷了，今天气温已经到36度了，地表温度大概在50度左右。今天真的太热了，感觉轮胎损耗的特别快。好嘞，好嘞，拜拜。来拍摄一下今天的训练打卡照，我帮你拍吧。不用，后置我自己也能看见，而且后置的徕卡镜头像素更高也更清晰。OK， 上车，我们出第2节。 因为个子小、体力差，被太多人质疑过开赛车的可能性。但热爱会引领我击破所有困难，打败所有偏见。就像被很多人不太看好的小折叠，如今仅用外屏也几乎满足了我所有的日常需求。现在呢是下午的5点42分，我们结束了一整天用外屏的挑战，甚至它电量还有42%，所以说我们今天可以说挑战成功。
真的很神奇。
Very magical. I used it for months, and I still have like 40% battery left after one whole day of usage. That's a magical experience. You take just a powder box every day with you, and it looks cute. This time, our team has some new innovation. It's about the adorable pet wallpapers on the outer screen. Take a look. What is it? Capybara.
水豚。然后呢，听说最近在动物
And I
园特
heard
别特别火。
that in the zoos, this animal is very popular right now. I asked why, because it has very steady emotion control.
还有更多的萌宠啊，真的超可爱。
More adorable
点
pets
上
to
去
be
还可以互
chosen.
动。
Very cute. You can click it and interact with it.
这个，所以呢，我认为小泽要做得好，
For
首先要
flip
好
cell
看好
phones to
用。
be good, it must
当
be
然，
beautiful
我们
and
还得给它做出
user-friendly,
旗舰
and
级的
also some
性能和使
flagship
用体
level
验。
functionalities and
其他的小泽
experience.
的话，其他公
For
司
the
做小
other
泽啊，
flip
一般不是把它
peers,
当旗舰用的，
they don't
都是
take
用
the
的
flip
前
cell
几
phone
代的
as
芯片。
flagship product.
这样呢，
They
它的
use
工
the
艺
previous
制成不够
generations
先
of
进，
chips
其
without
实
the
容易
most
发热，体
advanced
验也不好。
process. That's why
来
these
看看我
other
们的这个
peers might
旗
be
舰
easily
小折
heated
叠
with poor
用
experience.
的
Now
也是
look at
最
ours.
新最先
We
进的
adopt
高通处理
the
器，第三代骁龙
cutting-edge
8。
processor,
也
the
用了
third
最好的
generation
内存和
Snapdragon
最好的
8
存储，
with the best
还有
internal
超豪
storage,
华的立体散
and
热
also
，3500
the
平方毫米的
3D
VC
cooling
散热。
system, the
就在这么一个
3500
小
square
方盒
mm
的手机里
layered
面，
VC
我们塞了
stored in such a
7800
small
毫
size.
安时电池。
We can allow for
比小米14还大。
4780 mAh, bigger than our competitors.
真的不可思议啊！这
That's
是用了我们
unimaginable.
小米的金沙箱电池，同时呢支
Just
持
thanks to
67
Xiaomi surge
瓦的这个
battery
秒充啊。
and also 67
那么我们
watts
在设计这
of
款
surge
小泽的时候，我们的
turbocharging.
目标就是一
When
定
we
要好
designed the
用。
flip, we
好用
aimed
我们的目
at
标很简单，
usability.
就是性能、
And
功
it's
耗、
very
续航
simple
要能对
in
标
terms of
iPhone。
performance and
大家相不相信
DOU.
我们这款手机是可
We
以对标
hope to rival
iPhone？
our competitors. Now let's
其
do
实
a
一上来
comparison.
我是不信的，我说你
I
们拿个
didn't
测试报
buy
告我
it in the
看一看。
beginning. I
我
asked
看
for
完
a
以后
test
吓了一跳。
report, but
我觉
after
得
reading
玩
the
游
report,
戏
I
跟
was
iPhone 比，它
astonished.
几乎能
Playing
满增
games
益性的
compared
前
to
提下，
our
帧率比
competitors
iPhone 还
with
高，
full
温度
maximum
发
frame
热居然比
rate,
iPhone 还低。
the hit level is lower than our competitors, so better gaming experience. In terms of DOU, we can play like 2 more hours of games with 1.5 hour more of TV experience. We also invited the media friends to do some tests with very good reviews. I will not elaborate on the details.
可能呢，大家更关心的是影
You might be
像，
more concerned
因为
with image
小泽啊，
photography
用户比较
because
多，特别关
we
心
have a
拍照
lot
效
of
果。
female users of Flip, so they're very
那么很多
interested in
小
the
折叠的
photography
相机
function.
呢，
Many
实话实
Flip
说啊，都是阉割过的。所以大家
cameras
特别关心说你们这是凑数的啊，
were
你看这么
undermined.
薄，
So
是吧？你
people
怎么
might
可能做很好
question
的相机呢？
you have
好，我
such
们
a
来看一
thin
下。
cell phone. How can
虽
you
然
have
是
very good
双
camera
色，但是我
performance?
们两颗都是
With
5000万
dual
像素的
cameras,
镜头。
both of them are 50
主摄呢
MP
用的光
lens.
影
The
链
main
800的传
camera
感器，13.2
has
dB
800
超高
sensors
动态范围
and
和 OIS 的
ultra
光
high
学防震，
dynamic range
还有一
and
个5000万像素呢
OIS
是2叉的
optical
长焦，
performance,
而且全
and
部是
also
大光圈，
telephoto with a
全
large
部是
aperture.
徕卡光学 Summilux 的
We
镜头。
adopted Summilux
虽然
lens,
只有双摄，但是没有一颗
from
是
Leica
凑数的。我们来看一
not
下，
one camera
是吧？这
is
是主摄的抓拍，
expedient. So this
细
is
节
a
都清
snapshot
晰可
by the
见。
main camera
这
with
是
a
两
lot
叉
more
的
details.
镜头的拍摄也
This
非
is
常非常有质
2x
感。而且
telephoto
我还
with
要跟
high
大家
quality
说，
image.
这个两叉镜头
To add some more
还支
information
持
for
移动
the
对焦镜头，
2x lens,
还
we
可以
can
开
support
微距。
floating focal
打开
lens,
微距有什么
and
好
we
处啊？
also
因为这个
enable
小
the
折叠的
macro
很多用户是
photography.
女生，
What's
拍微距
good
有什么
about
用
it?
处呢？
For many girls using the flip, they can use it to shoot their pets, very clear views. This is the facial expression of a cat. And according to their feedback, it's also a good choice to take photos of their makeup or their earrings. So it's very good choice for the close-ups. And also, it's a good choice for video taking. Besides, as a flip cell phone, there might be a lot more new experience generated. It supports 45-degree to 120-degree of hover photography. So you could take photos from the floor to have longer legs in your photos, but not usable for me because I don't need it with long legs. And also you could take photos from up to have a smaller face in the photo. And you don't need a tripod to take photos, especially outdoors. It can be hand to take photos. Very convenient to carry. And also, it's suitable for vlog because of its small size. It looks like a small portable DV. And the key is when you take videos, it has the beautifying functionality. Very cool for the girls. So that's what we bring to you, the flagship flip. I hope that this product could reverse your impression of flip as a cell phone good for nothing. Do you think it suffices? So some key points: good appearance, large outer screen, flagship and Leica image. This flip is very strong because it's a flagship flip. With no undermining performance, with the strongest processor and the two good displays, and a lot more cutting-edge technologies mounting on it.
So what is the price? 5,999. Well, what about the price? I think it's quite reasonable. And let's look at the competitor's price. It can only purchase the basic model, our competitive one. It only includes 128G. So for this flip, it's more fashionable and has more fun. We can take good quality pictures and we can use it in different ways. And it can help us to have longer DOU, so you can consider whether you should buy one of the MiX flip. We have 3 versions. As you can see, we have different prices: 5,999, 6,499, and 7,299. And we also designed 2 things. As you can see, this is the customizable ring case. You can hang it within our hand as a stand. And inside there are 4 cards. You can change it every day. Without changing the ring case, you can only change the cards inside. And meanwhile, we also designed the instant camera kit. If you connect with your phones and to turn on the instant camera mode, and you can print the photos as you shoot in a very quick manner. When you go outside, it looks great when you carry it out. The whole kit is 499. And if you're interested in it, you can order it online. Well, these are the 2 affordable mobiles we have prepared for you. Isn't that great? I'm not only the CEO of the Xiaomi Group, but also the CEO of the automobile department. And we also offer special benefit for our owner of the SU7. We can give you another 2,000 credits in additional. And both phones are produced from the Xiaomi's mobile smart factory. in the earlier of this year, and we opened up automobile factory in Yizhuang, Beijing. And today, and I would like to introduce to you about the Xiaomi mobile smart factory in Changping, Beijing, which just being completed and put into production. It has many features of this factory I would like to briefly introduce to you. This is the new generation of the mobile phone smart factory with a total investment of 2.4 billion, 81,000 square meters, and an output of 10 million flagship mobiles. It's a national benchmark enterprise for intelligent manufacturing. And one thing I feel quite proud, it has very high level of intelligence and has the production line equipment of the co-process all self-innovated. Our self-innovated rate is about 96.8%. Since starting from the year 2017, we worked within the smart manufacturing, and to today, it took us 7 years to build such a factory. How we achieved this? Let me share with you more information. Well, it's quite complex to produce mobile phones. We have different parts from different suppliers. We always joke that it was produced by different countries, actually. Several years ago, we decided to use the modular ways for designing, and we categorize those equipments into 3 categories, and we deposed all the work content into modules with unified size and unified structures. For example, and we have the standard ones, and we have 2 sizes for the production line, and just like building blocks. For each equipment can use the modified ways to assemble. If you want to change the process, you can only achieve it as long as you change the relevant module. For example, if we have machine for screws up, and we don't need to change the motherboard, and we just need to change the module. If you have more chance, I will share with you more information later. And this factory is quite stunning. Well, it realized digitalization of all elements, and in total, there are 64,000 data collection points. Every day it collects 17 pieces of data. And we can also use the AI technology to view the content of the device in real time. Let me share with you a video clip to see the Xiaomi modern factory in Changping, Beijing. Sorry, it's the
这是一座
smartphone.
从数字中孵化的工厂，全要素数据采集，全 5G 高速连接，全数字化高精建模。 智能蔓延在这里的每个角落。工厂里的上千台设备，创新自研模块化设计，更换单元轮廓，瞬切工艺，宛如搭积木般便利。一条产线搭建只需1天。 在这里，一部手机诞生只需6年。在这里，1年将出品1000万台旗舰手机。我们正在以心智生产力。 点亮智能制造新灯塔，新一代小米手机智能工厂。
随着这2座现代化的工厂
After these 2 motor factories were put into operation, netizens have called me the president of the automobile factory. I really like this title. Thank you. Next is the annual new release products of the Redmi. It's the annual flagship. Well, it's already handled. It has been responsible by our specific staff. Last year, we released the K60 Ultra. and was well received by the market. And this year, together with the MediaTek, and we won the war within the market. Today, together with the MediaTek, we're going to release the K70 Ultra. As well know that Redmi want to make the best performing Android phone. For the K70 Ultra, well, it is the dual chipset flagship, and it can be the performance king. So how powerful is its performance? Well, first, it adopts the most advanced MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus chipset. And meanwhile, it had also used the customized the independent graphic chip, which is 12 nanometers, which is the most advanced among all the company's graphics chips. And meanwhile, Redmi also adopts the Wild Boost 3.0 generation. Combined with those technologies, well, it can be the dual chipset, the dual powerful ones. And meanwhile, it's full-core performance chip and with the frequency of up to 3.4 gigahertz. It is the most powerful processor. Second, we have innovated the 3D liquid cooling technology. It has a concave and convex design. While it has been as close as to the processor, the temperature surface on the processor can be reduced by 3 degrees. So in this way, we can give more room to the performance. And the Antutu score of the K70 is about, as you can see, 2 million. It's quite stunning in terms of the score, in terms of the media testing, and we are highly valued. And we are the performance king. Now, let's look at the video. Well, people speak really high about it. Now let's take a look. The last generation, it was well received by the market. Compared with the last generation, it has been greatly upgraded. Let me provide you 3 examples. First, well, within the extreme image quality, if we play for the Honkai Star Rail game, for the K70 Ultra, is power consumption is the same, but it has higher frame rate and it's more smooth. And second test, well, within the 1.5K super resolution and 120 Hz co-concurrency, so what is the result? You may find that for the new K70 Ultra, it has better image and lower power consumption, and it can achieve the concurrence for 2 hours. So what about more extreme situation when the temperature reaches 30 degrees outside? If we play for the heavy load mode for 1 hour, well, for the K70 Ultra, it still can reach the maximum frame rate. Well, you will agree with me if you experience it. Well, it is a good machine for playing games. It can provide us a smooth experience with lower power consumption and lower temperature. For K70 Ultra, well, we think it has the best performance flagship. And for this K70 Ultra, it has very good design. It's good looking with good textures. Let's have a look. Well, we provide 3 colors. Black, white, and light blue. And we have the metal frame. But for this price, counterparts sadly use that. Well, we also have the quad curve glass, which is rare used by the competitors. In terms of the display, it's 1.5K flat screen, and we also have the ultra narrow quad curved display. As you can see, it's quite good looking, and meanwhile, it also adopts the Xiaomi Shield glass and has very strong ability to combine with the solar materials. And meanwhile, we also used Xiaomi Eye Care mode. Well, this is the K70 Ultra. No matter for the outside appearance or the quality, it has been greatly upgraded. And we can provide you excellent experience. What about the image? It has been using the Sony IMX906, and it has the OIS. And for the very first time, it has been using the AI large model shooting platform. It has been upgraded in 3 aspects. Well, first is the quick shooting 2.0. And second, and it has a very high precision and has wide balance, more accurate, and also have the dual focal lens portrait. As you can see, the whole image system has been upgraded greatly. And what about DOU? Well, the battery is about 5,500 mAh, and it also has 120 watts fast charging, and it has the longest DOU among all the Xiaomi mobiles. You can charge to the maximum degree in 24 minutes.
It's supposed to meters waterproof. So this year, the K70 Ultra, how much is it? This year, after Wang Teng took position as the manager of Redmi, he's under a lot of pressure because for Redmi, we want to pursue extreme price for value for money. But this year, the value for money is greatly challenged. When we mentioned the price of previous products, I didn't mention this. This year, the components for storage and the flash components, their price went up by 85% and even 100%. Therefore, we're under a lot of cost pressure. In order to make K70 Ultra great, we have done so many upgrades. We upgrade to 5500 mAh battery. We have the metal frame and also the Xiaomi Shield glass. With so many upgrades, plus the higher cost of storage and flash components, Wang Teng approached me and Lu Teng several times. Honestly, we have a lot of pressure when we price it, but in the end, after thinking about it repeatedly, for such a flagship phone with this configuration, if it's $29.99, we're still losing money. Last edition was $25.99, but in order to support Wang Teng, the price will still be $25.99 RMB. I hope the users of Redmi, you can also support Wang Teng. It comes in with 4 editions: 12 plus 256, 12 plus 512, 16 plus 512, and 16 plus 1 TB, which is 35.99 RMB. I used this phone for some time. The performance is great. For a smartphone over 2000 RMB, you can still feel its high quality. You see the metal frame, the all-around liquid display, and the 3-color body, the Xiaomi Shield glass, and 2-meter IP68. If this phone is 4000 or 5000, this is normal, but it is over 2000. I have to tell you, it is undefeated for phones at the same level. So I hope that users of Redmi, you can show your support to Wang Teng. And this is the very first product when he became manager of Redmi. He's under a lot of pressure. This time, Redmi once again work with Lamborghini. Let me present you the K70 Ultra Champion Edition. Its design inspiration comes from this racing car. You can see its appearance is very recognizable. We also use this 2-color design with 24 processes. We perfectly restored this color design. Let's look at the details. You see the Y-shaped line and also the orange color, as well as the bright metal decal, plus the classic logo of Lamborghini. All of them are restored at the back of your phone, so you can see a lot of tension on your phone design. Moreover, we also customized the wallpaper and theme for this phone. It comes in with 2 colors. We have green and also orange. They are both very beautiful. We also have a short video about the appearance of these K70 Ultra Championship Edition. It's really cool. I really recommend this phone to the fans of Xiaomi and the Lamborghini. This K70 Ultra Champion Edition, it has a 12 GB plus 1 TB and is priced at 39.99 RMB. Isn't it cool? Very beautiful. So these are the 3 new smartphones. Last year, we launched our new corporate strategy, Human Car Home Smart Ecosystem. After the launch, the Human Car Home Smart Ecosystem has been completed. Just now, we launched our core business, the smartphone. Now, we're going to launch 3 wearable devices. These 3 wearables, they all look very beautiful, and their performance and their experience are also amazing. Therefore, it gives you a very high-end feels. Let me break them down. The first one is Xiaomi Buds 5, a semi-in-ear noise-canceling earphone. For earphone, comfortable to wear is very important. Therefore, we designed it to be a semi-in-ear earpiece. I also wore it. It feels very comfortable in your ear. Why? Because it is 4.5% lighter from the last edition, and the in-ear area is 9.5% smaller. And I also compare it with our competitors. You can see. It is very similar to our competitors. Very incredible, because our competitors have done very well in their earphone products. After making it comfortable to wear, the next issue we encounter is the sound quality, because it is semi-open, and this earphone has very good audio quality. We support hi-fi. Its frequency response is 2 times of our competitor, and its magnetic strength is 1.4 times of our competitors. Why? This is because we customized a dual magnetic driver. Therefore, you can hear the bass, and also our audio quality is very detailed. In addition, we also provide studio-level lossless audio. The highest transmission rate is 2.1 megabyte per hour, and its transmission rate is 8 times of our competitors. So you will be able to hear more details in the sound. Moreover, we invited Harman Kardon to jointly tune this product. We work with the Golden Ear team of Harman Kardon, inviting 10 masters to help us tune this product. Its auditory curve is very close to the classic auditory curve. So this is the Buzz 5. Moreover, I want to elaborate on some other points. It supports active noise cancelling, core noise cancelling, and dimensional audio. Moreover, it also supports call recording. When you are making a phone call, you can tap your earphone 3 times, you can start recording. This is actually designed for the user of our competitors. I know our competitors' product still does not support call recording. Therefore, I really suggest the user of our competitors change to Android phones. So I recommend this to the users of our competitors. It comes in 4 colors. First is titanium color. You can see it is very classy and high-tech. It also comes in blue. It is very suitable to wear it in summer. For such a high-end earphone, it is 699 RMB. Very beautiful. Next up will be Xiaomi Smart Band 9. This is the 9th generation of Smart Band. It gets more and more beautiful. Let's take a look at the video of its appearance. Isn't it very beautiful and fashionable? Let's look at the upgrades. First is its texture. It has a colorful metal body. In the past, we used plastic, but this time we made it a colorful metal body. It comes in pink, blue, silver, and black. On the basis of the existing straps, we add another 7 straps. We have hollow bracelet design for the strap. We also have chain strap, the dual-tone leather strap. You can also use the pendant design. We also have 3 new straps. One is the magnetic strap. You can just put it on your hand. It also has the braided strap and also irregular metal strap that really suits our gentlemen. Last but not the least, we also have a ceramic edition. Clear, warm, and gentle as a jade. So we prepared different editions of the Smart Band, all exquisite. We also upgraded the experience. It has a watch-level linear motor. NFC now supports car keys. Now we support two car brands, and we welcome more car brands to contact us. The DOU is 21 days. It is also boosted by a high-precision heart rate sensor. The monitoring is more accurate. the monitoring accuracy is improved by 16%. It also has very precise and accurate sleep breath monitoring. The monitoring accuracy is improved by 7.9%. This is a cooperation with the number 3 hospital affiliated to PKU. It is a research on sleep breath health, and the hospital help us to fine-tune and optimize the data. We are now working deeply with many hospitals to make sure our wearable devices can serve your health. In addition, the experience is wonderful. So this is Xiaomi Smart Band 9. It has more features. The price is $249 and the $299 for the NFC edition, $249 for the ceramic edition NFC. The straps, they are beautiful and also very affordable. This has already become a beautiful and fashionable product. I think our wearable device team is making our products better and better. And up next is Xiaomi Watch S4 Sports. This is a professional sport watch, and this is also the most high-end smartwatch presented by Xiaomi. Let's take a look. Why is this smartwatch high-end? It has titanium body. It also has sapphire glass in the front and at the back, and even the rotating crown is made of titanium. Therefore, we used a lot of high-end materials. And in terms of the performance, it is greatly upgraded. It has a high-precision heart rate SP2 sensor. It supports 40 meters diving. It supports 5-star dual-frequency GNSS positioning. It also supports offline map. Independent eSIM. You don't have to bring your phone. You can still listen to music, make phone calls, and send messages. So when you go jogging, it will be very convenient. For such a high-end smartwatch, it has a DOU of 15 days. More importantly, this time we work with Santo, and they provide algorithm support to us, and we work with their Finnish team to adjust this team to really make this product professional.
Santo offered us a lot more high-performance parameters with more professional sports guidance. For example, in terms of lactate threshold, it allows us to have a better idea about our aerobics ability. And also in terms of navigation, it supports pass-back, which means in the wildlife, you don't get lost easily outdoors. You can get easily back. And also it can give us alarm about bad weather based on the pressure and altitude monitoring. If it senses any huge changes in the environment, it can send alert to you. And also exercise effect evaluation could be done to avoid over-exercise. And also it supports a lot more different scenarios. For example, trail running, rock climbing, hiking, mountaineering, cycling, and skiing. For such a professional smartwatch, what about it? Let's listen to the experts of Santo.
Has been in our DNA since 1936. So when we learned that Xiaomi also wanted its users to experience the joy of outdoor exploration, we immediately hit off with the sentiment, we want to go out. Adventure starts here. Xiaomi already has an algorithms for VO2 max and recovery, and soon offers other key features, such as lactate threshold, which can help you achieve peak training performance. We have added route navigation and backtracking to Xiaomi's existing offline maps and dual-band GNSS. By monitoring parametric pressure, we provide timely, severe weather alerts to help you avoid danger in advance. Xiaomi smart technologies bring new ideas to outdoor sport, such as standalone calls, SOS emergency function. I believe our cooperation will give you professional and safe outdoor experience.
For this high-end smartwatch, it has 4 different straps, including fluoride strap, braided strap, and LSR strap. It's very lightweight, easy to wear. And also we have a luxury choice, the titanium Millennium strap. It's also good looking. For such a professional sports, high-quality smart watch, the price is usually set at 5,000 to 6,000 or even as high as 10,000 by our competitors. But for Xiaomi watch, as for sport, we have a very good price, 1,999. There are 3 different packages. Some have fluoro rubber, 1,999, the LSR, 1,999, titanium and Millennium strap. The price is 2,599. Of course, if you want to change your strap, we also have 2 straps for retail purchase. As I said, those wearables have been improved. Years ago, we entered into the business of high-tech home appliance, and in that field, we are performing with very good reputation. The first one I want to introduce is air purifier. This year marks the 10th anniversary of air purifier. For the last 8 years, we had the #1 sales, and with 40% of market share. Now, on the occasion of the 10th anniversary of our air purifier, we bring to you the highest end product of its kind, the Xiaomi all-scenario air purifier. What does it mean by all-scenario air purifier? We usually targeted at PM 2.5 before, but now we have 4 functionalities of deodorizing, formaldehyde removal, smoke removal, and sterilization and disinfection. So it covers basically all scenarios. Let's look at the console. It can do all of the monitoring. If you look at the contents, you could be aware about the functions, PM 2.5, formaldehyde, VOC, and others. It has very full monitoring because of the professional sensors to monitor 6 different categories of pollutants. Besides, it's a layered structure with 5 sets of professional filters and 10-layered composite purification system. For example, PM1, which is much smaller than PM 2.5, we have an independent PM1 particle sensor. The accuracy of monitoring is right next to the professional instruments of the air purification institutes. And HEPA filter screen has 99.95% of removal ratio. That's awesome. So PM1 filtering capability is very strong. The second example is formaldehyde removal. It's very difficult. Previously, we used activated carbon technology to remove formaldehyde, but there are several problems with that method. The first one is after some while, it will be saturated. And the second thing is if you don't change the filter immediately once the temperature shoots higher, there will be more formaldehyde released. That is the secondary pollution. So do you get it? If you don't change the filter screen immediately, formaldehyde trapped would be released again. But now we have a brand new technology, its special filter for formaldehyde removal. It adopts a method of catalytic decomposition to remove formaldehyde. And it's 7 times the efficiency of national standard. Within 1 hour, removal ratio could hit 98.92%. So it's effective for long. You don't need to change it because catalyst will not be consumed and there will be no secondary pollution. So that's like the best solution ever in terms of formaldehyde removal. In addition, you might need the function of deodorizing if you are raising pets at home. And in terms of deodorization, we have another deodorization filter layer and ammonia, carbon filter layer. How do we do it? And what about the results? Secondhand smoke is the most difficult part. Within 1 hour, removal ratio reached 88.29%, the odor in the bathroom 96.5%, the stinky smell 99.5%, and pet ammonia 93.8%. Very abstract numbers. Give you a good example. We have such a pet cafe on our site. We raised lots of pets, and it's stinky. Within 1 hour, ammonia removal ratio was 93.8% according to our test. And the concentration of ammonia was down from 4,570 to 280. So very strong performance if you put it in your home. Additionally, we have high-energy UV sterilization layer to have a full-width light sterilization. If you're allergic to like virus or other bacteria, then the removal ratio is 99%, and we got certified by Germany Lane Certification Institute. So it's very helpful for the allergic consumers. Since this year marks the 10th anniversary of air purifier, I strongly recommend this product to 4 types of population. The first one is the people who have home decoration. The second one, pet raiser, and also mothers and children. And lastly, the allergic population. We highly recommend these 4 groups of consumers to try the highest quality air purifier. And of course, our competitors have similar products with a price of 7,000 to 8,000 to 10,000. But for MiX, all scenario air purifier, the final price is set at 5,799. So please search for us online. It's also the highest level representative of its kind. The next example is air conditioner. Lately, Ms. Dong has been criticizing us, saying that we pretend to be number 1. And I checked very carefully. Nobody has ever said that our air conditioner is number 1. Although we did make big progress with better sales. And I did my homework. In the first half of this year, we ranked number 4. We still have a big gap with Gree, which means we have a big room of development. We must learn from Gree for that purpose. For such big progress to be made, it's firstly attributable to good quality products, reasonable pricing, and better services. Within 3 days, the completion ratio of installation and delivery is 92.6%, which means it takes about 1.6 days on average to complete the delivery and installation. On June the 20th, we have installed 85,140 air conditioners alone. So, big investment on air conditioning. That explains huge progress. Today, we're going to present to you the highest quality air conditioner. It's Fresh Air Pro. And it's standing 3P with dual air conditioning units. The height is 1.68 meters with a total area of only 0.15 square meters. So it's very slim and slender. And it has 4-zone air outlets. The air will just run along the walls with no direct blowing towards people. And it's noise-free. And it has very good design to put it in your home. That's why it won the Red Dot Award. Another big strength about it is super primary energy efficiency. It can save more electricity. There is an APF indicator, and for our air conditioner, it could be as high as 5.01. Compared to the national primary energy efficiency, we can save another 19% of electricity, and that's about 478 mAh per year. And it can save about 786 mAh compared to the old air conditioners. So energy saving indeed. Why? It's self-developed by Xiaomi. We have won the second award according to the China Light Industry Federation because of our technologies. And I will elaborate on two. The first one is the top-level condenser. So we can increase the area by 83%. And the second thing is we are smart. We have AI energy-saving algorithm to save about 40% of energy. AI is influential across different verticals. And we also have dual circulation fresh air technology. Besides, we have ion purification technology with very strong performance in disinfection and sterilization. That's our standing 3P dual air conditioning unit. Very good energy performance and other smart functions. Our peers may be sold at 13 to 15,000. And the touching news is about our cost effectiveness. For Natural Wind Pro, the price is 6,999. For Fresh Air Pro, it's 7,999. So please look at us when you are thinking about air conditioners and do your comparison. That's what I want to present to you. 3 cell phones, 3 wearables, 2 home appliances, fold and flip. Next Tuesday at about 9 a.m. we will start the sales. You can start your booking right now. Especially if you prefer the printers, the photo printers. Act earlier. We don't have many in store. And if you like our purifier, it also starts the sales since Tuesday next week. You can start your ordering right now. For the other new products, they are already online. You can buy it right now. In this new decade, Xiaomi has launched a series of new strategies. For example, the human car home smart ecosystem, the technology strategy, AI empowerment. Allow me to report to you our progress in large models. We have a sound large model to recognize different kinds of sounds in nature and also to recognize the emotions and environment with the sounding. So what's use of it? The first application is that this large model will be mounted on the vehicle. We have an additional function of wake up outside the car. No matter what is the voice instruction outside the car, for example, you call for Xiaoai 同学 outside the car, Xiaoai may not respond to you if you give the instruction outside the car. That's why our function is necessary.
Well, Xiaomi Classmate has been used in many products, for example, like mobiles, the templates, the automobiles, and we have over 100 million active users for the Xiaomi Classmate. And later on, we are going to fully upgrade the Xiaomi large model. It's fully free, so you can experience the charms of the large model by yourself. Next, let me report to you about the updates of the Xiaomi EV. Thank you so much. And now we have been speaking for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And thank you so much for staying here with us for so long time. Thank you. Well, the SU7 has been on the market for over 3 months, and over 30,000 units were delivered. It was a miracle. And within such a factory, it was a miracle to deliver so many units. First good news I'd like to share with you is that the annual target of 100,000 vehicles is expected to be completed ahead of schedule in early November. And I'd like to thank all the partners on the supply chain. Second, for the sales and service network, and this month we have added 4 cities: Jinan, Guiyang, Changchun, and Changzhou. And we also added 17 new stores. And meanwhile, the car experience store in the Nanjing Jingfu Center has been renovated and reopened. And we will prepare gifts for you if you are located in Nanjing. And we will have a lot of different new added centers as well as service centers. As you can see, right now we make a big step forward, and we are going to establish more stores in different cities in the near futures. And we also have many other products. You can find it within the auto mall. As you can see that we have the 3 pieces for the sunscreen. Might not be used by the owners of the SU7, but we think it can be needed by the other brands' owners, especially for the female drivers. As you can see, the purple color is quite beautiful. We also have this color, white color. Well, these colors are favored by female drivers. As you can see, we also have the light and airy sunscreen clothing, blue, purple, and black, 3 colors, and is a slim type. I have tried it by myself, and it's quite comfortable and handsome. And we also have the classic baseball cap with 5 colors provided. You need to try it by yourself to feel that it's quite beautiful. And we also have the 1-15 core car film with 3 new added colors. And now you can order it. You can start the ordering as soon as possible. Okay, now let's look at the goal of the Xiaomi EV. Well, our goal is to become one of the top 5 car manufacturers worldwide through 15 to 20 years of hard work. And we need courage to compete head-to-head with the world's top car companies. Do you agree with that? And we need to prove ourselves. And around the world, where we go, actually is the Nürburgring Nordschleife. I'd like to share with you a few information. Well, this is the world's pinnacle track. It is located in Germany. It's the world's longest track. Well, the track is 20.8 kilometers long with 177 corners and a maximum drop of 304 meters. Well, it can be considered as a mecca for the comprehensive performance testing on the track worldwide. And within the track, all the car manufacturers have compete with each other. For example, like competitor A is the king of this track. And among the top 30s, half of the winners come from this competitor. And it is the best car manufacturer. And we need to learn from this competitor one. And within this Nürburgring Nordschleife, we need to polish our skills. I would like to share with our goal. Within a decade, we want to become the fastest 4-door EV in Nürburgring Nordschleife within 10 years. And we will improve ourselves step by step, and we want to be the strongest one. You may wonder why we work on the 4-door car. Well, many companies have been producing two-door cars to show off their skills. What we really want to do is polish our skills, and so that everyone can afford this track-level technology and to have this such premium experience. Because few people can make it to the Nürburgring notch life. As we know that it's really hard to race on that track, except for the professional drivers. It's really hard to achieve that goal. How difficult? The majority of the EVs cannot make one lap within this track. It seems that it only has 20.8 kilometers, but it needs for peak performance. Well, we have 4 difficulties. First of all, well, it needs the peak performance, and the key is to keep the output for a very long time. And for the later section of this track, it's pretty long. Well, it needs the strong performance of the battery. And meanwhile, it has a very huge loss, and it needs the extreme downforce. And the weight of the EV is much heavier than that of the fuel car. So lightweight is one of the difficulties. In the past 10 years, EV has been challenging this track. Until today, only 7 EVs has been on the ranking, and they have finished the whole track. And within 4, as you can see, we only have 3, and you can find the detailed information on this slide. We have different models from different competitors. And you can find the scores, and we have the 7 seconds or 7 minutes. And we know it's really difficult to challenge this track. So we divide into 2 steps. Well, first, in the October this year, we are going to use the prototype to challenge that ranking of the mass production cars. And next year, when the production car is ready, we're going to challenge the lap ranking of the production car. So we are going to take 2 steps. So now let's look at this SU7 Ultra prototype. Isn't it cool? This is Ultra prototype, a real race car. Let's have a look. It has the oversized front lip, U-shaped canard on both sides, and 2 huge heat dissipation holes on the front cover. As you can see, it's quite stunning. And we also have the open wheel arches on the sides, side skirts of very large size, and very exaggerated diffuser at the tail and oversized spoiler. As you can see, and we also has the symbol on the sidecar. I designed it by myself. If you like it, you can give me a warm applause. So for the Ultra prototype, how powerful is it? Let's have a look about its performance. First of all, it has the peak performance. How powerful it is? Well, it's equipped with the Super V8S motor. Well, this is the self-innovated motor by Xiaomi, and this is the first time that V8S has been on board. The power of the one motor is as high as 578 P. And as you can see, that it is equivalent to the power of a large V8 engine. Is fully self-innovated. And within this ultra prototype, and we have 3 super motors, 2 V8S and 1 V6S. And what about the horsepower? Is up to 1,548 PS. It has surpassed many supercars. It surpassed those supercars. Not even mention comparable. And second, it has been used the current second high-power battery pack for the track, which can output 1,330 kilowatts of ultra-high power. And the peak voltage reached almost 900 watts, and the charging rate reaches 5.2 C. You may also pay great attention about its braking system. Well, it has the AP Racing braking. Well, AP Racing is a very famous brand, has been responsible for the high performance braking. And this time we have been using this fixed caliper made by AC Racing. And we also have the racing brake disc and brake pads for tracks. The maximum temperature can exceed 800 degrees. As you know, that is really high temperature. It may be around 1,000 degrees. And since we are EV, one of the advantages of EV is that we can recycle the power. Well, we can provide a maximum deceleration of 0.6 G. And if we consider altogether, it can provide a deceleration of over 2.36 grams. Well, if it's over 2.2, it means that a hard brake feels like hitting a wall. So we need professional drivers to drive the race cars. To change the indicator, reduce from 100 kilometers to 0, it will only takes 25 meters. So this prototype is definitely the most powerful 4-doored cars today. Not one. It's the most powerful one. So what about its street line performance? To compete on a street line, what about the results? From 0 to 100 kilometers, well, the acceleration time is 1.97 seconds per hour. While from 0 to 200 kilometers, the time is 5.96 seconds per hour. And highest speed can be over 350 kilometers per hour. For those parameters, it can be considered as the fastest 4-door vehicles among all the EVs and fuel cars. Well, when racing within the track, it has many requirements. Apart from the straight line performance, well, it has retrieved extreme lightweight.
If the car is too heavy, it will also be very difficult on the racing track. It also adopts full carbon design. And this full carbon design is much stronger than the full carbon design on a floatable display. So carbon fiber is the best lightweight material. It is also very strong, but it is very expensive. However, we used the full carbon design without counting our costs. You see the front lip, the front bumper, the fender, the side skirt, the body side, the doors, rear bumper, diffuser, spoiler. roof, front and rear bonnets, all are carbon fibers. And 100% of the body coverings are carbon fiber. Moreover, even the motor upper plating is carbon fiber. The air hood is also carbon fiber. This is incredible and stunning. In total, 24 places, which covers an area of 15 square meters, are carbon fiber. So in one word, it is excellent. If we want to put it in another way, it means expensive. It also means we are rich. So my colleague asked me, can he buy an SU7 Ultra prototype? And I said, even I cannot afford one Ultra prototype. So let's work on improving this car, because prototype vehicle is for the purpose of R&D. With so many carbon fiber plus other improvements, we have reduced the entire weight by over 500 kilos. Compared with a fuel-powered vehicle of the same size is even lighter. You can see our competitors. They are at 1,960 kilogram, but we are only 1,900 kilogram. For racing car, there is also the requirement of aerodynamics. During the launch event of SU7, you heard the term drag coefficient. So the raindrop has the lowest drag coefficient. We want to improve the drag coefficient because we want to improve the range. But for racing cars, it's all about downforce. So for racing cars, aerodynamics means downforce, not drag coefficient. What have we done to improve the aerodynamics on the car? Just name a few. The fixed racing spoiler can give you an addition 735 kilo downforce. The diffuser can give you 245 kilo downforce. The open wheel arc can give you 153 kilo downforce. The front bumper canard can give you 30.6 kilo downforce. In total, they can give you 2,145 kilogram downforce. That means the downforce is even heavier than the weight of the car. That means, in theory, at extreme speed, you are able to drive this car on the ceiling. So you see, this downforce is incredible. You see the monstrous indicators. I won't go through all of them. In order to run at the northern loop of Nürburgring, in order to challenge our competitors, we are fully prepared. Our team has been working at Nürburgring for a month. Today, we officially announced that in early October, we are going to challenge the northern loop at Nürburgring. During the launch event of SU7, I said that people must have dreams. To challenge our competitor is our dream. Even though we're not as good as our competitors, it's fine. As long as we start to catch up, we're on the way to success. Even though we are fully prepared, but to challenge the northern loop at Nürburgring, it is very difficult. All car companies want to challenge Nürburgring. They all want to challenge the competitors. So I hope you can understand. Maybe we will succeed, and it is also more likely for us to fail. There will be different kinds of hardships, but please believe in us. We will keep fighting until the last moment, until we finally succeed.
Xiaomi
14 years after we started Xiaomi, we have overcome so many difficulties and hardships. We have always been chasing our dreams. Along the way, With all the dream chasers, we have created a new chapter of the time. Keep exploring, keep growing, and keep succeeding. Courage is the best response we have for the time. Thank you very much. And this is the end of the annual speech and new product launch event. If you like the new products, feel free to go to Xiaomi Mall and buy them. Thank you very much and good night.
Are traditional commands necessary in a truly intelligent world? In our smart ecosystem, cars will understand you and meet your needs with flexibility and versatility. Devices will adapt to your wants and flow as you wish. Homes are not just a home, but a space to infinite possibilities. Proactive and responsive. Operating system will anticipate and serve your every intent. This is the future that we are developing for you. A life where Xiaomi EV and over 600 million devices move as you wish, completing the human, car, home smart ecosystem. Xiaomi Hyper OS.
Xiaomi. 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 Xiaomi.
Are traditional commands necessary in a truly intelligent world? In our smart ecosystem, cars will understand you and meet your needs with flexibility and versatility. Devices will adapt to your wants and flow as you wish. Homes are not just a home, but a space to infinite possibilities. Proactive and responsive. Operating system will anticipate and serve your every intent. This is the future that we are developing for you. A life where Xiaomi EV and over 600 million devices move as you wish, completing the human, car, home smart ecosystem. Xiaomi Hyper OS.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi.